How's it going today, everyone? Just gonna verify that I'm actually live. Let me know if the sound and the video, if everything's good. As always. I see myself. What happened? Reconnection successful. So everything was good there for a minute, and then I saw I went completely red. I went to 0. OBS said I disconnected, but it looks like I reconnected now, so hopefully we're good to go. Trying to find Nick's story. Old Skool Pokemon should be live as we speak on Whatnot with my my consignment. I wonder if I can actually pull that up. You used to only be able to use Whatnot on mobile, but I think you can use it on PC now. Let's see if I have my information saved. Doesn't look like I do. Maybe we'll just hang out. We'll just raid Old Skool Pokemon for the first hour on Whatnot and watch him sell my cards. He's actively consigning my cards for me over on Whatnot as we speak. A lot of the lesser condition stuff. But yeah, I actually can see him on Whatnot. Yeah, you can. It's going really. I can actually hear him. I see Vandy just joined. We're gonna make Nick stress. I'm not gonna actually stream the whole thing. I just wanted to see if it worked. Let me see if this works. You guys should be able to hear him. Now you should be able to hear him. I just turned it on.
Nido Queen from the Jungle set.
So yeah, we've actually got it.
Front of the card is looking good.
Just so everyone knows, I'm not gonna actually stream Nick the whole time. I just think it's kind of funny, and I want to stream like a couple sales. I'm gonna drop his link too. I think it's an affiliate link, so I think if you go and create a Whatnot account, I think he'll actually make some money from it.
And figure out how to get this auction here started. So there we go.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop his link in the chat.
Good luck to anyone interested in this one right here. Too cool for school. How we doing?
Let me see if I can find it. Here it is.
Thanks everyone for the follows. Do appreciate it.
Yeah, go in, like.
Love the name there.
Like, sub, follow.
What's up, Brad? I know. I can't believe how many people are in here. I love it. Haven't been on Whatnot in
there we go.
Forever.
So there's the link in the description.
Awesome to see all these people in here. Definitely was not expecting that.
When is Nick spinning the wheel?
Appreciate it. That Chris takes
Nick's rudely talking over me this whole time.
$6. Congratulations.
As if I'm not even here. I mean, come on, Nick.
Do appreciate the support here. Next up, we'll go with a English card. We've got a Shadowless.
I just moved stuff.
Clefairy. This one's going to be moderate play. Got some scratches on the hollow foil.
Oh, Whatnot pinged everyone? There. So Whatnot gave him like the full shout out?
Right there.
He has 86 people watching.
A little bit of whiteness along the bottom.
That's solid.
As you can see it right there.
He's talking about all the damage. He needs to be pumping. He needs to be pumping my cards, but he's talking about all the damage.
So, starting it off at $1 as always. Sales advisor and tax accountant at the same time. Love it. Are you the one with the stickers that have 9 kills on them? That is me, yes. Yeah, anyone who buys something gets a free sticker with 9tails.
Oh yeah,
I don't
hope
have any. I
whatnot
don't have any down
piracy.
here with me
Hopefully
to
I
show
don't end
for
up
it,
getting
but yeah,
demonetized
get a
because
free
I'm
nice
stealing
nice
Nick's whatnot
Old Skool
content.
Pokemon sticker
I just
with
got some
the
card savers in today so I
hey,
can finally
Lugias.
submit
I don't believe I have any Lugias here.
all the rest of
Having
my
80 people is a good
$15.
time to drop the heat. Oh, definitely, definitely. Brad takes it down
I
for
need to tell
a
Nick to throw a
whopping
giveaway.
$9. Congratulations on that one, Brad. Solid pickup right there. Next up, we will do a graded card. So we've got a Radiant Collection Charizard near mint.
That's not very cash
Blue.
money of him to
Awesome
not.
artwork on this card right here. There's the back of that one. Started off at $1. See where it goes. Good luck to anyone interested in this one.
This is gonna be the last
Get those
one.
follows. Oh, there we go. Catch them all
Last
with
one that I
the
stream.
pointers right there. Purchase
Once
stuff
this
on
one
your
ends,
another
we're
platform.
gonna
We do
shut Nick
appreciate
off
it, but
so that he
Jesus,
doesn't take
thank
over the
you.
live stream.
He's the guy who loves starter decks. Yes, that is me. Love my theme decks. Love your eBay store. Oh, thank you. Do appreciate that. All slabs or singles as well. Got a little bit of both. Mostly singles. Do have some slabs to run as well.
Next live stream.
Daggers 2. I feel like I recognize that name.
Oh god. Yeah, my next live stream. I'm just gonna rip other people's live content for all my upcoming live streams.
Oh, I'm sorry, Brad. I didn't see that.
There we go. We're getting some bids, extending it. So yeah, I'm gonna drop it one more time. Anyone though, go feel free to follow Nick. If you use this link, it's an affiliate link for Nick. I believe he gets like $10, and you get $10 too.
Marty, congratulations on that.
So that card's sold.
Awesome artwork.
I'm gonna turn the stream off now. So it's is he selling pins on there? So what Nick is actually doing right now, he's doing a consignment for me. He's doing I had a video that came out Monday. I sent a bunch of cards from that big collection I just bought. I sent some for PSA grading, some for CGC grading, some for Troll and Toad Evo sales, and then I kind of talked through like what cards I sell, where, and why. And some portion of those, the ones that you saw in the video, if you watched the video Monday, those aren't the specific ones that Nick has, but some prior cards that get rejected by Troll and Toad that aren't really worthwhile to grade, in my opinion. I'm consigning those through Nick, Vandy, and Echo-based collectibles. I've consigned with each of them about 100 cards each for whatnot sales. So let me catch back up on the live, and then we'll talk through what we're gonna do today. Nice when the day off lines up with the live. That is nice. I know I am. Quaxley's peeking out over the booster boxes at least, so he's not completely. Squirtle Squad somewhere down back here. Squirtle Squad is just crying behind his sunglasses, behind the mountain of booster boxes, because he's completely covered. Michael Lane was lucky enough to pull a Moonbreon recently, hit me up for some advice on how to submit, who to submit through. I told him to go direct is probably the best way, so everyone root for Michael Lane to hit that PSA 10 on the Moonbreon. Best way to message if you want to purchase any of the cards I showed today. If you want to buy anything on my eBay, you can buy it there. If you want to save a little bit, I can't knock off like 20%, 30%, but if you want to message me on Instagram, that's usually the best way. Instagram should be linked in my description. Yeah, so I have a video coming out Monday, and shout out, shameless self-promotion. This past Sunday, I did a live Zoom call with Pokenomics Patreon, and what I did was I created and I shared the historical booster box prices of every box going back to base set unlimited all the way to current, the prices all the way back to 2000, where I could find the data. Obviously, I couldn't find every year for every set. Many years don't apply to many sets because Team Up wasn't released in 2003. So it, as far as I understand, as far as I've ever seen, I think it's the most comprehensive historical booster box price spreadsheet out there. Took me a long time to put together. That's why I put it behind the paywall. I like to go real deep in the monthly meetings that we do there for anyone interested in getting a lot of deep dive analytical historical data. The Pokenomics Patreon, we do really nice presentations every month. getting like a light version of that coming this Monday. I've already filmed the video, but basically every box behind me, I kept track of the date that I bought it and the price that I paid compared to today's prices. So I'm not going to give you the whole historical price chart. I'm going to give you what box I bought and when, and then what they're worth today. Very interesting to see what all the boxes would cost to buy today versus what I paid when I bought and opened them all several years ago. So that's context for the background. It took me like a while to find these in the tote that I had them all flattened in, and then to like expand them all, set them all up. It took me a while, so I'm probably going to keep this for a week or two behind me. Yeah, the booster box flex. This is what I had behind me for the Pokenomics Patreon conversation on Sunday as well. When's Nick spinning the wheel? Am I doing call-ins today or holding us? We'll see where we go. I've got a few things I want to cover, a few PSA optimization grading returns that I want to cover. We'll see where we end up with the end of that. If people want to call in, yeah, potentially. We'll see. I do have the earbud all set up so I can take people through Discord without an echo, without an issue. Yeah, I figured I'd cross post the live stream to hopefully get Nick a few extra follows, maybe get him a few affiliate link hits, and then also like if some people want to bail on me here, if you're not going to be here watching me live on YouTube, you may as well go watch Nick and bid on some of my cards. Those are the two best places to be right now, selfishly for me. What grade would you expect a card that looks perfect all around but has a couple back print lines? 8 or 9 maybe, depending on how bad they are. I mean 10 potentially too. How minor the print lines are, does the grader actually see them? But perfect all around, couple print lines on the back. Probably 9 would be the most fair grade. I think print lines in general shouldn't get 10s, but there are cards with print lines on the front that get 10s or perfect 10s, and graders miss things. We need a right there counter. I love to have my dream team live at the same time. Dan with the taxes and Nick with the sales. DNA. This Clefairy has a huge dent increase in the middle, but if you bid more than $10 on it, you get a chance to win a Darkness Ablaze booster box. Yeah, why is he not yelling? Nick needs to learn whatnot. He's kind of slacking on his whatnot strats right there. How's it going, Alex? How many people are in his live? When I left, it was like 80 something. So I'm only pulling 39 right now, and he was pulling 80. Yeah, if Nick, I think Nick knows a couple people. I think he works with a couple people, like consignment-wise, that work at whatnot. So probably, he's probably got the hookup. It might be something that they just do by default too. If they see they have a seller who has a decent amount of followers who's left the platform for a while, and then they come back on their re-entry stream, it would kind of make sense for whatnot to like pump them to try to get them to hang out, stay more. I should have. So Nick's selling my consignment that I sent to him. I should have included some pins so that he could sell some of my pins through whatnot. That would have been funny. Oh man. Yeah, hopefully we get a good can we stream the FOMC press conference? Oh man. Yep. Nick, Vandy, and Echo are my 3 whatnot consigners as of right now. I asked Josh, the old card shop, if he wanted to do any. I think he was contemplating it. Yeah, covering up Quaxley. Live reaction to the FOMC. So right behind me, I talked about it Sunday in my Patreon thing. There's 48 boxes behind me. I was going to stack it all the way to the ceiling. Hopefully I don't tip it over. The unfortunate thing is, all through WotC, all through the EX era, the boxes were opened through the top. The boxes were open this way, and they stack so much better. They're so much stabler. These ones, though, they open this way, just like the Ultra, like current Modern. So from Diamond and Pearl base right there, all the way to Modern, they open this way, and they don't stack so nicely. So I have empty boxes from every set. There's like 96 of them. It would be twice as tall. I wanted to go this high with it, right up to my shelf, but the boxes just won't support their own weight. So I had to stop at 48. Otherwise, it was going to keep tipping over. But yeah, in my video, in the Zoom video that I did, the presentation on Sunday, I went through all 90. I think Lost Origin was the 91st or 92nd set. So I included all that. Quaxley slander gets you banned here. The live stream's already up. So if you're in the Patreon, if you're in the Discord, you can find it in the Drive link where we keep all the files. You can find it in the announcements section. I put it in there as well. Bent Dark Zard just sold for $121. Awesome. Ernesto wants to hop in so he can complain. Don't fall for it, Dan. I need to get to where I have like right now I'm doing my thing kind of. My YouTube schedule has been in flux. I was doing 2 or 3 videos every week, and then I switched to 1 video on Monday with 1 live either Wednesday or Thursday. Every other Saturday I do the Metazoo video. At some point I kind of want to get some unique, some different kind of content, whether it's live or whether it's pre-recorded. Well, I know Retro, you're one of the guys that I got to collaborate with. There's a few people out there. I need to be better about asking people to come on my channel. A lot of times people will ask me, I'll do an interview on their channel. With Pokeflips, we have a guest once every month. But yeah, I need to be better about collaborating and reaching out to other people, trying to like do new different things with my content, with Pokemon content. So we'll see what I can come up with. I've just, everywhere I look in this office looks as crowded, as crazy as behind me right now, unfortunately. Tennis Wolf is on his laptop at the car dealership getting his car serviced. People wondering what the live is about. Max has been watching some Gem Mint Pokemon videos. Are there any serious collectors who try to get all cards in PSA 10 from WotC until the last EX series? I'm sure there are people that try to get PSA 10 everything. One of my first goals in the hobby, one was opening every booster box, and I did it. Another alongside it was getting every ultra rare from every set in PSA 9 condition. All crystals, all shinings, all WotC PSA 9 first edition holos, all level X's, primes, legends, all old school EX's gold stars. I think I covered all the ultra rares here. All black and white era, all X and Y era, full art EX's. I didn't quite get into that, but what I did complete, I had all Call Legends shinies in PSA 9. Everything from Call Legends back. So I have black and white base here. I didn't have, I guess there's only 2 ultra rares in that set, but I don't think I had both those in PSA 9. Every ultra rare, every chase card from Call Legends down. The shinies, the legends, the primes, the level X's. I had all those at one point in PSA 9. 2020 boom happened. Bubble happened. I sold a lot of it. I still have a decent amount. I still have a lot of the WotC stuff specifically. I have all the e-reader WotC stuff. I didn't sell any of that. I sold my Jungle Fossil base. I have a little bit of base first edition. I still have my Neo. I kept all the Neo and e-reader, but I sold my Level X collection. I sold my Old School EX collection. I sold my Gold Star PSA 9 collection just because it became too cumbersome. It became too valuable. It became like I had too much money tied up in it, and I was worried that the valuations didn't make sense. So given that I did all that in PSA 9, surely there are people doing it in PSA 10. Almost definitely. Specifically though, like I don't know who that would be. I know some massive collectors, well, Zach being one of them, just doing it with WotC. I know some massive collectors that do a little bit of different eras, but I don't know someone who does all of them necessarily in PSA 10. Dubsy, I'm interested to see as he unveils more of his collection. Does he go? I don't think he does much with like English set cards, or at least not all of them. So hopefully someday someone will unveil it. Yeah, Gemmin's definitely on another level. SDC cards for a while still selling strong near 50. I have no idea. The codes are kind of working again. For a while the codes weren't working. I think the codes are working again. I actually just got one in today. I don't know where I put it, but somewhere on my desk. I'll probably find it at some point today. I have another special delivery Charizard hiding. I have a lot of stuff to show you guys today. A couple PSA returns. Some of them with like the CGC label that I cracked out to show what the grade went from and to. What are fees for consigning on whatnot? Typically, I have so many singles from the non-grade pile over the years. I think 20%. Yeah, 20% is a relatively standard number, and that's like the total number. Echo Base is actually in chat right now. 20% he charges total. Whatnot takes 13. Similar to my eBay Buy It Now consignment service. Link in the description if you're interested. I charge 20% flat fee. If it goes above like $2,500, it goes down to 5% for every dollar thereafter. But yeah, I think that's like a fairly standard number is 20%. Can we get a setup for next stream to see if you're taller than the booster boxes? I need to find a way to I need to put like, I need to hang a sheet of acrylic so that they can just go behind it and lean against it, because they definitely won't stand on their own. But another thing I'm going to actually do, I had the shelves for a long time. I've mentioned it before. These are 4-foot shelves. They end on screen. I have 5-foot shelves. I'm going to put 5-foot shelf, 5-foot shelf, and then I have a second one. So these posters are going to go down. I'm going to take away 1 or 2 steps of that rung, that shelf, and there's going to be a second row of 5-foot shelves. So with 2 rows of 5-foot shelves, I think I can put like, I can put all of them up there, and then whatever doesn't fit up there can go down here. So maybe in the coming weeks, there will be a live stream where I actually have every single booster box behind me. I think that would be really cool. The Patreon live was on point. Loved all the data points. Yeah, and as I said before, as I said in the live stream, it's a living document. If you join the Patreon, you get access to all prior files that we've made, all prior lives that we've done, and the ones that I make personally, they're living documents. It's not one and done. I forget about it forever. I go back through, and as I get more data points, I add them in, and over time, it just goes on and on. What the green shiz doesn't like that Whatnot takes 13%. I don't know what's wrong with that. I mean, that's like similar to eBay. 10 plus 2% for credit card fee. Let's see. Have you heard of anyone getting great condition Zard promos? Because seems everyone I hear complains about card condition centering. I had none that were like guaranteed 10s. I think my best condition one, I might give it a 70% chance at getting a 10. That might even be being a little bit aggressive with it. I spent $100 to grade it, so I'm probably like, I probably should have been more realistic. Probably more like 50-50, honestly. The best one that I had. So yeah, unfortunate. Yeah, part of the reason why I made my YouTube channel, I talked about this in my live stream. I've talked about it on my YouTube channel many, many times. A large portion of why I made my YouTube channel, I did all this. I opened all this, and I don't have videos of any of it. I'm glad that I saved the boxes. I saved the empty pack arts, but like, it would have been, I would have such great backlog of content. I think I have a decent backlog of content in my YouTube, about 1.5 years being on YouTube. Had I been on YouTube for like 7-8 years, this would all be captured and included in there. Oh my god, I can't imagine how poor the resolution would have been. I can't imagine how like rough the videos would be. But there's not too many people that have done this, and to have had all those captured on video would have been amazing. So Tennis Wolf, I was actually going to show this. Let me see if I can pull this up. This morning, just to test, I actually submitted 10 Pokemon cards under, let's see if I can find it. I submitted 10 Pokemon cards under the sports promotion, and it worked. Like, imagine PSA not limiting using, like, because you look right here. I don't even have 10 special delivery Charizards. I just wanted to test it quickly. So I went under the Modern Sports, the new tier they have for $15. And they have a spec number for every card. They have a database that has every card included in it. Imagine not using that spec number to tie to the fact that it's a TCG card and allowing you to submit it under the sports bulk special. Like, what is PSA doing? It's not that surprising to me, along with like all the other things that they do or the crazy things that go on. But yeah, like I sent some offers this morning to try and buy 10 special delivery Charizards. I might just submit this and see whether they reject it entirely. Will they ship this back to me, or will they just grade it and either upcharge me to the $18 tier that it was supposed to be on, or will they be like, well, he got us. We'll just grade it for 15 because we're dumb. I'm interested to see what happens. I figured it would make for good conversation, good content. So, Yeah, if you're in the Pokenomics Discord, you would have. I posted this earlier. It's not surprising, but I don't know what PSA is doing. They don't know what they're doing. Did you end up sending out any Charizard UPC promos at a higher tier? I sent 2 promos, so not 2 sets, just 2 individual promos that I felt like 60-70% confident on they'd get a 10. I sent those at 100 each. And then I sent 6 more, 2 sets, so 2 of each of the 3 I sent at 50. So I did send 8 total between 50 and 100. Dan, if you had to choose one hold, would it be Bitcoin or a trophy card based on price appreciation, not your enjoyment? What's the hold period? I think that's very, very relevant. Let me know, Retro. I'll answer this, but what's the hold period? Are we talking like 2 years, 5 years, 50 years? Because I think it would potentially change the answer. Do you think Pokemon will see a good influx of collectors come over from the troubles that's going on with the MTG? I don't really know. I think I know nothing about MTG. I've never really been into it. Not when I was younger, not today. I know the whole 30th anniversary thing that's going on that a lot of people don't like. I heard negative things about their 30th anniversary event they just had in Vegas. Whether they'll go to Pokemon or not, it's hard to say. Maybe they'll go to Metazoo because of the massive prize pools that Metazoo's pumping. But yeah, I don't really feel confident enough to answer that either way. 46 watching and only 17 likes. Hit that like button. I just hit it myself, so we're at 19 now. Dark Lava Lizard says you cannot still submit at 15 for TCG. I mean, PSA takes, like, the submission goes through. I don't know whether or not they'll actually grade it, but yeah, we'll have to see. They might reject it. I have no idea. If you could sit down and have a chat with anyone at the Pokemon Company, who would you pick, and what would the top question you would like to have the answer to? If I could sit down and have a chat with anyone at the Pokemon Company, it would be someone like the CFO or something. I would just love to. The Pokemon Company is weird. Like, the Pokemon Company itself doesn't have an individual stock ticker. Like, Pokemon is partly owned by Nintendo. I don't know exactly how the corporate structure works, but there's Game Freak, there's Nintendo, there's Pokemon, there's Creatures, all those companies, how they're related. I'm not entirely positive, but talking to someone like the CFO and just getting like more in-depth information behind their financials. I know you can get some of that from like 10K filings, but I don't think you see all of it. Well, another thing, potentially too, I guess if I could ask that, someone that could tell me print runs. Someone at the modern day Pokemon Company might not know, but maybe they do have access. Maybe they have a master file somewhere. Like, again, the Pokenomics Patreon, I've done the best I could to go through and try to allocate the entire 40 whatever billion cards it is print run to every set that's ever been printed and determine how much was printed of each. If I could sit down and talk to someone and get the actual numbers by set, I would love to do that. I don't know whether that would be possible or not, but if I could, I would need to go all the way back to base set, because getting them just Evolving Skies, Lost Origin, that would be interesting, but not interesting enough for me, I don't think. It's on the honor system. I have no honor. 3 to 5 year hold period. Probably Bitcoin. They're both, I think both are highly risky. I think both are historically high, both rather, well, Bitcoin's 60% off of its all-time high, right? It's around 20K, it peaked at 60 something, whereas the Trophy Pikachu is at or near its all-time high. A couple private sales have happened. It's kind of in that very high 5-figure range. I turned down 90K from Rusty, but I think his 90K offer doesn't stand anymore. So yeah, I would probably go Bitcoin, but I would be very upset if it were to not pan out. I do own some of each. I mean, I own a number 1 and the number 3 trophy, and I own some Bitcoin. So I'm kind of invested into both right now for the pending. I don't know how long I'll be invested into either. It's all pending on what the prices do in the interim. Did you see Leonhardt's last video with an old WotC employee where they showed a not released card set? Did it look real to you? I'm not sure what to think about it. I did not see that. Was it Jamboree? Because Jamboree is the one set that, like, Legendary Collection 2, like when WotC was losing the license to Pokemon, there was a rumored set that was going to be released. I believe the working name was Jamboree, but it never ended up coming out. So I'll have to check that out if someone's potentially like showing some cards from Jamboree potentially. That I feel like I would have seen that and heard of that by now, as long as the video is more than like a couple hours old. But yeah, I love anyone who can show me from spreadsheets from the Pokemon Company, whether it's print runs, whether it's like profit margins, whether it's their internal rate of return, things like that. Like that would be really cool to me. So anyone who can show me the most spreadsheets. Out of curiosity, can you touch on the legality of using a Charmander image as part of your store logo / branding? Something that's in the works is a rebranding to stop using Charmander, because Rusty, TCA Gaming, he used to be the Charizard Authority. And as far as I understand, I don't know if it happened when he did the brick and mortar. I don't know if it happened because someone complained. But as far as I understand, I think he was told to stop being the Charizard Authority. So he switched to TCA Gaming. Before I get to that size, I probably never will get to that size, but my origin of the use of Charmander as my avatar on E4 8 years ago is I was familiar to a lot of people by that Charmander through E4. So when I went over to Discord, when I went over to YouTube, when I went over to eBay, I just used it because people recognized it. It's going to kind of be unfortunate to lose a little bit of that branding, a little bit of that like recognition going away from it, but I think it makes sense to go away from it before I ever run into issues. I probably never would. I'll probably never be the size where Pokemon will care. But yeah, I don't think I'd be allowed to use Charmander as I am. So I have new things underway that I'll probably be showing off at the beginning of the new year. Maybe sooner than that, but potentially the beginning of the new year. Green Snap. Yeah, I'm in like the Rome area. I'm pretty close to Rome, so I'm only like 45 minutes from Syracuse. Definitely check out my eBay in the description. Late to the party, but title says PSA return, so I have to ask, did we make money? I'm gonna start showing that soon. I'm trying to get caught up on chat, and then I'll start showing that. I've not shown any of my PSA returns yet. What are we? We're 30 minutes in, so it's about time to start showing PSA returns. Time flies. Time flies when you're live on YouTube. Oh, okay. I'm familiar with that. I remember hearing about that on E4 years ago. There's no link to the Patreon video. Are you in? You need to be in Patreon. It should be. You need to go into the Discord, and it's in the what tab is it in? The resources tab. There's a drive link. If you're in the Discord, it's also in the announcements tab. Jake should have posted it, but Jake probably didn't post it yet on Patreon itself. Jake has to post it on Patreon. Let me just message him now while I'm thinking about it. So I just messaged him to post the recording on Patreon. Does anyone know what stage at PSA you find out if a card crosses over? Label printed in assembly, currently left in Beckett's Slab. Waiting for a big $18 return to get back today. Probably going to make a video as well. Show me the goodies. So yeah, I will start with anyone who has been around my channel for a few months. I think most people by now are aware of the drunk stream that Jake and I did, the live stream that went on for 8.5 hours. If you search my channel by like top viewed videos, it's like my second most viewed video, that 8.5 hour live stream. And in that 8.5 hour live stream, Jake and I ripped some Harry Potter. These cards are so hard to show off, like they're so reflective. But yeah, we ripped some Harry Potter. We pulled 2 Harry Potters. I sold 1 raw to Gem Mint Pokemon at Denver Collecticon. I sold it for $100. In my mind, like I was thinking that card was going to be an 8 because it had a print line. This one I was thinking was going to be a 9, maybe a slight chance at a 10. So this got an 8. My better of the 2 copies got an 8. And then the other ghost rares that I graded, rest in peace. I forget the actor's name, but I believe the actor who played Rubius Hagrid died. I did pull 2 of them though, and I got an 8 and a 7. So this was the $30 tier. PSA destroyed me. PSA destroyed me on these. Like I expected a couple 8s and a couple 9s maybe, but I got like 2 7s. What did I get? 2 7s and 2 8s. So I got pretty wrecked on the Harry Potter Ghost Rares. And then, another 8. So I got 3 8s and 2 7s. Pretty rough if you ask me. But still really cool cards. I paid $30 to grade them. I paid way too much to grade them. I think in PSA 8, these sell for like less than $50, like super cheap. I probably won't even sell them. And then anyone who watched that stream, Jake signed Grimer 1 of 1, both for Ray and for Kai. So Kai and Ray both have a 1 of 1 of 2 Grimer. And then what did I sign? Let me see what I signed. And then they each hit a holo, because in a Japanese fossil pack you're guaranteed to hit a holo. So I signed for Kai. I signed for Kai a Slowpoke, 1 of 1. And then for Ray, what did I sign? Man, if I can get it out of here. So for Ray, I signed a Zubat. I signed a Zubat 1 of 1. So that's what they pulled out of their packs. Kai pulled a Raichu. I pulled a Raichu for Kai to go with their Grimer, Slowpoke, Grimer, and Zubat. Ray got a Zapdos, which got a 10. So Ray did well, actually. I think he paid $200 for the pack. I included grading in it at the $30 tier. And he got a PSA 10 Zapdos. I believe PSA 10 Zapdos by itself goes for about $200 last I looked. Or at least low list. Maybe auctions are lower. But Kai... Sorry, Kai. I don't know if Kai's in here. He's probably not. He got a PSA 6 on his Raichu. I don't know if through the alcohol consumption... I don't know if I did this when I pulled it. I don't think I did. But I don't know if I'll be able to capture it here. But yeah, I did. So right there's an indent on the corner. It could have been from me pulling it. It could have been from someone at PSA. It's on the bottom, so probably not pulling it out of the card saver. Whatever the case, there's an indent on the corner. I might have to run this one back, send it to CGC, try to get like a CGC 8.5. But yeah, sorry, Kai. So there's our first PSA returns. The first PSA return was a drunk stream, $30 PSA return. And I know people always like to hear what was the time frame. So these were received, 10 items received on September 7th, and they were shipped back to me on October 26th. So about 6 weeks. 6 weeks turnaround for the $30 tier. I did have oh yeah. These cards were also in it too. Let me show these ones. So we didn't pull this one on stream, but I just had one sitting around, so I sent it. So this had a PSA 10 in the same submission, not from the drunk stream, but it was in the same submission. And then these two, I think I pulled this, and then Jake pulled this. So this is like a $700 card, $600 card in PSA 10. So that one did well. That one did really well. It was good to see. Made a little bit of money on that Ancient Origins pack, given all the Evolving Skies boxes we ripped and got nothing. And then this was from, I pulled it from a VMAX Climax box, so I think that's a couple $100. But overall, it was a pretty cool submission. Kai took the brunt of the wreckage, though. Sorry for that. Big $200. Kai honestly deserves it. Yeah. Sorry, Kai. Let me get caught back up on chat. There's so there's the drunk stream return. That's one checked off my list. That was one thing I wanted to show. Okay, G1T Landon's in the Patreon, but not in the Discord. Bierski says it's posted. It's definitely posted in the Discord, but I just messaged Jake to post it in the Patreon. Sometimes it takes him a day or two to post it once I post it to the Discord. Dan, how do you feel about Squeaks not having office hours this week? It's a pity. Everyone, go to Squeaks Game World. Go to his latest video on YouTube. Let's see when it was. Go to his latest video on YouTube and just comment, "We need more videos." Let me Sean is a great guy, and I wish he'd make more content. He was in yeah, he hasn't made a video in 3 months. I'm gonna link his latest video so that you can go and leave a comment on it to tell him to make more videos. But Sean's a great dude. He was in the Pokenomics. He's in the Pokenomics Patreon, and he was just hanging out during Jake's office hours. And after Jake's office hour ended, he hung out for like 2 or 3 hours in voice chat. I hung out when I was packing orders. I think he was packing orders. Really cool guy. Nice to hear his takes on a lot of stuff. I miss one of my favorite, like my favorite podcast is the one I do with Nick, Pokeflips, but the Squeaks and Radar, that was a solid one too. I missed that. Let's see. Ghost rares are notoriously hard to grade in Yu-Gi-Oh! One of two. Yeah, Jake's scamming people. Jake's scamming people with the one of two Grimers. That's a pretty grimy thing to do. Yeah, the first appearance tops Ghost from the movie box. Those are tough. Yeah, I have a one from Rudy somewhere. I don't know where I put it, but I messaged him about it to see if it's a redemption. I watched back the videos. I don't believe it's a redemption, but I messaged him to show him I linked him to the video, the timestamp where I pulled it. He mentioned that he wanted people to open them on YouTube and link him. So he hasn't yet replied to me, but I'll definitely let people know what he says if he responds. Breloom Sitting Cutie. That's not one that I've picked up yet. I do want to get I definitely want to get the Gen 1 Pokédex at some point, but I don't know that I'll get like 900 of them. That would be like $13,000 in Sitting Cuties. That's a lot of money. Kai got punished. Sometimes punished. I have an Expedition Raichu Reverse and Japanese Light Togetic in Q1. Cracked the Togetic from a 9.5 CGC, then hoping for an 8 for the Raichu. Good luck on the grades. Keenan tells Squeaks all the time to make more content. Yeah, Squeaks loves it when you tell him to make more content. Collectible Conversations. I couldn't think of the name. But yeah, hopefully Squeaks comes back someday. I know he's been busy moving all that and busy just running the Pokemon business, but I'd love to see more of his face on YouTube for sure. So yeah, I'm caught up with chat. Let me get into the next stack. Screen promos. Anyone who followed my YouTube channel last year, every single PSA return that I do, I have some amount of screen promos in it. And anyone who watched my cracking streams from a little while ago, I cracked a lot of screen promos. So let me start. You saw the PSA 5 Rowlet, but so I cracked a lot of screen cards. And these, the thing is, like, I cracked so many, I can't keep track of which is which. But at one point or another, I cracked 7 Rowlets. They didn't all go in this submission, but these definitely would have been, like, these 4 that I'm going to show you definitely came from these 7 labels. Which one was which, I have no idea. One got a 5. So one of them, I don't know what happened. I might have damaged it when I cracked it. I didn't notice. Oh, I actually see a bend right there. So there's a bend right there. Like, I don't know if anyone can see it, but there's an imprint there. There's a bend. It was probably this one. So this one was a 6.5 surface. I don't know why I decided to crack that. If I was paying attention, you would never crack a 6.5 surface card at CGC and send it to PSA, because that's guaranteed to be a 6 or less if they see it, unless they miss it. So honestly, like, that 7.5 should have just stayed a 7.5. There's probably not a major difference, but that's an L. I shouldn't have cracked it. I shouldn't have paid more money. I paid $18 or $18 to grade that, so that was stupid. But the other ones, though, 2 9s and a 10. Whether this was all 3 of the 9s, whether it was an 8.5, an 8, and a 9, I'm not entirely sure, but it definitely came from these. Some of them would have went into another submission. I don't think I wanted to put all the screams in one. I think I wanted to spread it out in case one took a long time. So a 7.5 went down to a 5, and then out of 8s, 8.5s, and 9s, I got 2 9s and a 10. So that's a win on the next 3 Rowlets. That's a definite win. The next ones that I have, so here's an L. Here's another L. So I had 3 Psyducks, and I have 3 Psyducks here, so I'm assuming it's the same ones. I'm assuming it's the same 3. So a 9, 9.5, and 9 went to an 8, a 9, and a 9. That's an L. Obviously, I was hoping the 9.5 would have went to a 10. Obviously, I was hoping maybe one of the 9s would have went to a 10 as well. But I didn't do well with the Psyducks. Psyducks are the toughest one to grade overall. Eevees were weird. I'm pretty sure these would have been cracked out. And I would have not cracked out a CGC 10, obviously. I definitely wouldn't have cracked out a CGC 10. If I had cracked anything, I would have cracked 8.5s, 9s, and maybe a 9.5. Anyways, I don't know what these were before. I must have lost the labels. I couldn't find them. And you can tell, like, I'm not hiding them because I downgraded. Like, it's not like I had 4 9.5s and I just don't want to show it because I'm embarrassed that I down. I'll show you when I downgrade stuff. I'll show you when I lose money. I don't care. But I ended up with 3 9s and a 10, which is solid grades for the Eevee. Unfortunately, I lost the labels and I don't know what those were in a past life. But going on from there, just some random stuff. Heart Gold, Soul Silver, Cracked Ice went from 8 to 8. So when you pay $18 to grade a card at the same grade, like PSA, generally speaking, has higher liquidity and slightly higher price. So if you do a lateral move, generally you're going to be like winning a little bit. Not necessarily like tying up the card for several months more. Tying up the card for several months more and then paying $18, say $20 with return shipping. I would have been better off just selling this as a CGC 8, almost certainly. So if it's a 9 to a 9 on a higher tier card, it's probably worthwhile. Say it's a $500 card and you pay $20 to grade from a PSA 9, from a CGC 9 to a PSA 9. It's probably like a break even, maybe a slight win. But when you go 8 to 8 on such a low dollar card, this is probably like a $50 or $60 card. Maybe not even. I don't even know. I should have not graded that with PSA. I was clearly hoping to get a 9 or something. This 8.5, it was probably an 8.5 because it had a slight indent or a slight issue. So this 8.5 went down to a 7. I don't know what made it a 7, but I mean, that's an L, obviously. Here's a 9 that went down to an 8. So there's an L. Slab optimization so far has not gone too well. Let me keep one though on screen just for context. I do win sometimes. I haven't sold this one yet, so I haven't realized the gain. But sometimes I do win, and one win, just to show you, like one win can pay for many losses, and that's the whole idea behind this game. It's not winning on every single one. It's winning the whole game. It's a long game, and I just want to win overall. So this was an 8.5 to a 9. I don't like the 8.5 number. I personally never. At PSA, it's worse. PSA, it's a fake grade. It's not replicable. At CGC, it's at least replicable. They give a lot of. I mean, ask anybody who submitted to the CGC. 8.5 is a very replicable grade. They like to give that one out. So 8.5 to a 9. I mean, I don't know how much. Like I spent $20 to make the card worth $15 more, maybe 8.5 to a 9, maybe $20-$30 more. I don't even know, but it's nice to see them go up. There's another 8.5 to a 9. 8.5 is like, so what I did when I cracked CGC cards, if it was low value and it was an 8.5, I blindly cracked it. I didn't even look to see the quality. I just knew I didn't like CGC 8.5s. I'd rather have a PSA 8 or a PSA 9. So I blindly cracked all 8.5s largely on low value cards. Here's an 8.5. They don't all go to 9s. Some of them go to 8s. So 8.5 to an 8. But if it was a higher value card, like there's some base set first edition that I have in CGC 8.5 that I didn't crack because it looked like it was going to go to PSA 8. But a lot of these lower value ones, I didn't spend 2 minutes looking at this Absol to see whether it would go to a 9 or an 8. I just know that it was an early cert 8.5. Supposedly they graded those really hard. I'm like, let me just re-roll it at PSA and see what happens. I've regraded some CGC 8.5s to 10s. You'll actually see 1 or 2 in the submission. But overall, most CGC 8.5s either go to the PSA 8 or go to the PSA 9. Here's a big card. I mean, Rayquaza Level X, CGC 9 to PSA 9. This is a card where even though the grade stayed flat, I think just the increased liquidity and the increased value, it overcame the $20 fee that I paid to get it regraded. So that was a worthwhile one. This Absol, if I had to guess, it was probably an 8.5. I couldn't find the label. So some of these cards I couldn't find the labels. But if I had to guess, it was probably a CGC 8.5. Here's another 8.5 to a 9. 8.5 to a 9. Seems like they've gone 50-50 either way, up or down. Let me know in the chat, is my stream dropping out at all? It just went red a couple times in a row. Yeah, don't forget to hit the like button to help me financially recover from all these L's. Here's a flat one. Pretty interesting, obscure promo. Probably a lot of people haven't even seen this card or heard of it. Lost Link Remover, or Lost Remover from Lost Link Prize. 9 to a 9. Obviously hoping for the 10 there, but it is what it is. I went from kind of an average 9, 1 8.5 to 9.5, so slightly over a 9 to a 9. This one though, this was one of the bigger W's from the whole thing. A 10. I don't know which one this was, but I had 4 that I cracked. So I had 4 Indigo Plateaus that I cracked. 3 were 8.5s and 1 was an 8. So 3 more should come back down the line. But one of them went from an 8.5 to a 10. I actually, like, this is a card that someone actually already offered me. I listed it for 1,000 on eBay. Somebody already offered me 800, I think, but I'm trying to get the full 1,000 because that's roughly what they go for. This card in CGC 8.5 versus PSA 10, hundreds of dollars. Like, I don't know exactly how much it would be, but hundreds of dollars at least. I have another CGC 8.5 here. Like, this was one of the cards that I looked at them relatively closely when I decided to crack them. I would not have cracked it if I saw an indent or something like I did on the Rowlet that I wasn't thinking about. But like this card, this 8.5 is going to stay in 8.5 because, let me see if I can find it. This 8.5 specifically has an indent in the top corner. So like very, very small, almost like a fingernail mark. You might see it right there. Tiny, tiny thing. At PSA, if they miss it, it could get a 9 or a 10. If they see it, it'll get a 6. So this is one that I consciously decided to not crack. Like, I didn't blindly crack more expensive cards. This isn't hugely expensive. I was picking these up when they were like $50 raw. I don't know what they go for now raw, but they're harder to find. PSA 10, $800 to $1,000. So that was definitely a big win there on the Indigo Plateau. Really cool promo. Throwback to like Pokemon Yellow. The Indigo Plateau, heading on up to the Elite Four. Really cool to see. And yeah, no upcharge on that card. I did recently, next week's live, I have a pretty solid return to show. I got upcharged on a couple things. Let me say too, I forgot to say, this was a 50 card submission. It was received on the $18 tier. So I submitted it in July because it was the $18 July special. It was received on August 1st and it was shipped on October 17th. So it was about 10 weeks to get it shipped. So just for people curious about the time frames, I do have, where'd it go? I did just pay upcharges. What did I just pay upcharges on? Let me see if I can find what submission it was. I do have another submission coming back. Oh, I just got 3 minutes ago. I got your PSA grades are available. That might be the one where I just paid up charges though. So I might have already gotten those. Here's my upcharge email. Oh yeah, that one. Okay, so it is that same one. Yeah, I have a really cool submission coming back next week that I had to pay upcharges on. That was sent at the $30 tier, I believe. No. That must have been sent at the $50 tier. No, the $30 tier. So I have a $30 tier that the grades, it's shipping like today. It was received on October 20th, and then it's shipping like today or tomorrow. So that one only took 2 weeks to ship, whereas the one from the drunk stream took 6 weeks. So PSA is all over the place still. They're not doing first in, first out. They're doing first in, F off. The joke I always make about FIFO. Let me go back full screen for a little bit, catch up on chat, and I have one more stack to show. I believe it's just one more stack of the PSA returns, the grade optimization. PSA to CGC is the optimization. Yeah, I went the wrong way. I went blue to red, but red to blue might be the play more often. Dan destroying the earth one crack slab at a time. Oh man, let me catch up. There's quite a few. Yeah, I'm gonna, if PSA or CGC will certify it, I will certify that one of one Rudy for sure. I didn't get any Harry Potter 9s. I got 3 8s and 2 7s, unfortunately. All pack pulled by me, yeah. Um, that's what Selby. That's what I'd say if I were downgrading and hiding the grades. Clever. So yeah, for the EV cards that I couldn't show you any labels. They were all CGC Perfect 10s, and I just got wrecked. I was too embarrassed to show how wrecked I got, so I'm hiding the labels from you guys. Punished sometimes for sure. Harry Potter punished. There's definitely plays both ways, PSA to CGC. If you're at the low end of the scale, like on this card, PSA's low end of the scale, they run down on you quicker. Like a PSA 1 happens a lot easier than a CGC 1 happens. James in the chat, ZNG in the chat can confirm that. He folded a card like 8 times and it got a CGC 2. I'm sure James has probably seen these cards before, but I didn't even do this myself. These were cards that I bought in a collection a long time ago. I don't know what happened to them, but James, this is how you do CGC 1. If you want to do CGC 1, you got to go big. This is what a CGC 1 looks like. You may not like it, but this is what a CGC 1 looks like. And I know we got Old Card Shop in the chat. He collects PSA 1s, but CGC 1s are on another level. Look at this. Look at those deep creases, water damage. I mean, these would this would probably not be encapsulated by PSA. I'm not entirely sure, but this would that's a tough one. That's borderline for sure. But that's what CGC 1s look like for anyone curious. Part of the consideration too with like the whole optimization, I cracked some of these cards like a few months back. Had I just sold them then, like some prices are flat, some prices are down, some might be slightly up. But if I paid money and I waited 3 months, so I'm tying up cost of capital, I'm paying money, I'm adding money into the slab. Then if the prices went down on top of it, like say I went from CGC 9 to PSA 9 and the PSA 9 fell by 20%, that's definitely an L. So overall, slab optimization has been aside from this bright shining moment, overall an L for sure. But we'll see how it pans out. I still have 500 or 600 cards that are going to be coming back. So what do you look for in a CGC 8 or 9 in order to think it's worthwhile to cross over to PSA? If it's a CGC 8 or 9 because of centering alone, it's way more likely to upgrade. CGC's harsher on centering than PSA is. If it's due to surface though, you got to be careful because CGC will give an 8 surface to something with a slight indent or a slight bend that PSA will auto 6. So make sure it does not have a low surface upgrade. Make sure if anything, the ideally it's centering, but edges, corners, it's hard to say exactly, but look at the card as if it's raw. Basically just forget about the grade. Look at the card as if it's raw. What do you think it's going to get at PSA? I had a lot of CGC 8.5s, as you saw, that went to 9s. When you look at those cards without the slab, without the label, they look like PSA 9s, and they got PSA 9s. So yeah, I mean, just look at the card itself, but the centering and the surface are two things that like stand out. Mediocre optimization. Lord Pokesmoke went from a CGC 9 to a PSA 7. Nice. Yeah, some poor soul's gonna buy that Charizard thinking they can crack and cross the PSA. That would be rough. Yeah, grading companies love slab optimization, especially when you go like I've gone PSA 9 to PSA 10. I've gone PSA 9 to PSA 8. When you go red to red or blue to blue, the grading companies love you. They love you for sure. Do you know how to tell which are early search CGC? I bought a bunch of 8.5 Watsy hollows a while back because the cards look so mint and cheap. I didn't care what people were hating. 3.8 or 3.9 cert is what people generally think or say, but look at the card. I don't care what color the label is. I don't care what case it's in. Look at the card. What would it get? Pretend it's raw. What would it get? And then after you look at the card and determine what grade it would get, then you look at the label. If the number that you think it'll get is bigger than the number that it says in the case, and if there's actual like value differential between the two, it might be worth cracking. That's the best way to go about it, in my opinion. Do you crack them or send to PSA and crossover? I always crack them. Very, very infrequently in my 8 years in the hobby have I ever sent stuff in case. I did it with a PSA 9 base first Charizard and a PSA 9 base first Blastoise to BGS. The Blastoise didn't cross, so it came back in the PSA case. the Charizard did cross, so it came back as a BGS 9.5. Only when the value is so high, but your odds go down significantly, in my opinion, because one, they can't see through the case, and they're always going to be cautious. They get the same amount of money whether they give you the grade or not. You pay the grading fee. So like, what's their incentive to crack the card out and risk damaging it, and then they're going to owe you money? What's the incentive for them to crack it out and then realize, oh, I didn't see this obscured scratch, now it can't achieve the grade, now I got to send it back to them raw, and the customer's going to be pissed. So everything points towards cracking it out and sending it raw. What happens to all the cards once we crack all of them and regrade all of them until every card is a PSA 10? Then they're all 10s, then nothing's low pop, and 10 values go down to where they should be. Yeah, obviously look at each card individually. First in, F off. The old card shop says his $15 sub is farther along than his $30 sub sent in the same package. Yeah, CGC ones are literal trash. PSA ones are works of art. Holy. Would love to see a company that regrades one card with PSA, CGC, BGS, and then encapsulates the card with all labels. True grade. I like the way Celebi's thinking. So Celebi's going to open up Celebi Grading Company. It's going to be called CGC, but the real CGC, Celebi Grading Company. He's going to submit it to PSA, get the grade, BGS, get the grade, CGC, get the grade. Each of one of those is going to be the subgrade that factors into the final grade. That would be awesome. Somewhere I saw somebody ask about humidity, and I think I lost it. I keep one of these, and generally speaking, room temperature, like standard room temperature conditions, 55 to 60% humidity. I have a dehumidifier that's set to hold that, and then in the winter, rarely is it an issue, but like I would run a humidifier to keep it 55 to 60%. If needed. I never have needed to, just a dehumidifier at times. So 60%, 55 to 60% humidity. And like you can see it's varied from 66 to 72, though right now it's 70. So right around 68 to 70 degrees, and I think 50 to 60% relative humidity is like the default recommended thing. You don't want wide swings though. You do not want 100% relative humidity, then 30%. Then you want a tight range on all of those. So that's my general idea towards what is probably best. Be like Ivy and run them through the washing machine. Yeah, the washing machine Charizard. Celebi tried for CGC 1, only got 3 1.5s. I don't know what happened to the Reggie. These all came in a collection that I bought a long time ago, and it was funny because if I remember correctly, the collection was like a beautiful collection, minty binder cards, and then these just like thrown in. I don't know what happened to these cards, but yeah. How many cards would it take for you to grade a CGC 3 specifically? Feel like that would be the hardest grade to repeat. Yeah, PSA, the 3.5, 4.5, 5.5. I don't know how you do that. Like, they're not valid grades at PSA. CGC, it's at least slightly more replicable, I think, but it would still be very, very hard. I bet if I sent 50 cards, I could hit a 3, but if I sent like 5 submissions with like 5 cards each as just a test batch, I could probably hit a 3 like 1 out of 10 or 1 out of 20 times. Still be very hard, I would think. Should I grade base first edition starters Pikachu that would get PSA 6 or 7, or should I just sell them raw? Is there liquidity for these graded other common, uncommon base first editions? Me personally, I sell them raw through Troll and Toad. PSA 6 is iffy. PSA 7 though largely would qualify for Troll and Toad, like light play, near mint, and PSA 7 cards, generally speaking, sell for less than Troll and Toad near mint cards on their platform. So Retro's turning an 8.5 shiny Charizard V to a 10. Good luck. Do I buy graded cards? I do, but generally speaking, I'd rather consign them. Link in the description below if you want to look at the terms of my consignment service. Sterling. How sketchy is selling loose WotC booster packs on eBay? I'm worried about the buyer just claiming it's resealed and trying to scam a refund. I would grade the packs, but some are kind of dirty. Yeah, it is sketchy. I haven't done it in a long time. Years ago when I did it, it was 5 to 10% of the time you'd have an issue. I feel like maybe that's overselling it. Maybe it was 2 to 5% of the time. That's a complete guess, but I I sell packs as graded, or I sell them in person at events. I would much rather sell in person at events, cash in hand, just less risk. Have them open it in front of me if they have concerns, issues. So yeah, I get iffy about selling stuff on eBay because there's a lot of potential for scams. Basic says, should I crack my Express PSA 5 UPC cards and crack and send Express to CGC asking for a friend? There's no way. Did you get a PSA 5 on one of your UPC Charizard promos? That would be that would be rough. At that point, I would just take the L, sell it raw probably. But yeah, if it's a PSA 5, it would probably be like a CGC 8, depending on what the damage is. So how's it going, Jacob? I actually have some Metazoo that I'm going to open. Maybe I'll do that next if Jacob's hanging out for a minute. So I'm gonna do that really quickly since I see Jacob here. Hopefully he's still here. Hopefully he wasn't just like stopping in. But yeah, I do have a little bit of Metazoo Seance. He bought it pre-order, but I did not yet have it. So my booster boxes came late, and my release event boxes, blisters, and stuff came later. So he bought 2 release event boxes, and he bought 4 blisters, 1 of each art. So I'm gonna quickly crack these, and largely it's a Pokemon stream. Hopefully opening some Metazoo doesn't just completely tank our numbers in the middle of the stream, but we'll see what happens. I've got a paying customer looking to have their product open live. Yeah, Jacob says crack it whenever. I'm going to crack it right now so I don't forget. I was going to do it at the end if I never saw you in here, but now that I see you in here, I figured I might as well let you watch live. I have a video going live Saturday. I opened 180 boxes, 12 cases of Metazoo Seance, and I talk about the fact that they're mappable. I talk about that, and I talk about, like, I only open the full hollow packs. I'm not going to scam people with the reverse hollow packs. I'm not going to sell them. I'm just sitting on them for now. But if and when I ever sell them, they'll either be, like, graded or they'll be sold as reverse hollows only. But yeah, we have, quickly, we have all 4 blister promos. We have all 4 coins from the blisters. And then we have 4 packs from that. The way the release event decks work are you get 3 booster packs, you get a random promo. You actually got a good promo. Sarah Good, a good promo. I'm selling, so release event decks retail for $20. I've been selling Sarah Goods for $12 sealed, and I've been selling the decks for $12. And then you get 3 packs on top of it. So the release event decks, like I saw the same thing with UFO. Good margin for me on breaking them. You actually got 2 Sarah Goods. So that's one of the better. I think there's actually, I've had some players reach out to me. I think there's some like playable cards inside of these decks too. I think that's why people are buying them on top of just the Sarah Good promo. So yeah, you got good hits on your release event decks. You get 1 of 4 or 5 random decks. But anyways, let's see if we can hit you a Hateful Eight. Let's see if we can hit you a Possessed Aura. In 180 boxes, I only pulled 6 Possessed Auras. So, and if anyone hasn't seen yet, Seance, you can actually get serialized cards. If it's a serialized card, I think some of the hollows can be serialized. I don't know if any of them can be. There would be a number there out of 20. So that one's not serialized, but you got a full hollow. And I should say, as far as I understand, blisters, theme decks, you got a reverse hollow there. Blisters, theme decks, release event decks, I don't believe those are mappable. So, oh, there we go. Curse Contract. I've been selling this card for $50, 40 or $50. It's one of the Hateful Eight. Hateful Eight means that it doesn't come in reverse hollow and it doesn't come in non-hollow. So like you can get a non-hollow rare in every pack. This one is also has a hollow version, also has a reverse hollow version, but Cursed Contract only comes in full hollow. So that's actually like a really solid hit there. I've been selling those for like 40 or $50. Got a reverse hollow Drowned Pianist. I probably should be showing. Sorry for not showing all the bronzes and silvers. I think you mentioned that you were in Argentina or something and you haven't seen many cards yet. So let me show you the bronzes and the silvers too. as I go. We've only got 10 packs here to open. Reverse Hollow Houdini's hat. I'm not opening Metazoo all stream. I promise. I'm just gonna open some for Jacob, and then we're gonna go back to Pokemon. Reverse Hollow Calcified Dunes Orb. I really like some of these. The cemetery, the auras, some of the full art locations and auras and stuff that they do at the back. Oh, here we go. Got a full hollow Edgar Casey. Not a Hateful Eight, but it's a full hollow. You like to see the full hollows. That's Permanent Possession. That's the card that I was able to spoil a couple weeks before release. We got a reverse hollow Boojum. We're down to 2 packs left. We've lost a few viewers, but I think it might be just normal fluctuation. I think we didn't kill the stream with Metazoo. Medium Crystal's Eye, reverse hollow, and last pack. Let's see if we can hit some last pack magic. But we did get the Cursed Contract, Hateful Eight, so you can't go wrong there. We got the Hidden Grove Orb. Congrats on your pulls. You got 2 Sarah Good decks. You got a Cursed Contract. Yeah, so there's a little bit of a Metazoo rip that I pre-sold to Jacob. Appreciate you supporting, reaching out, buying the pre-sale items. Unfortunately, I didn't have it at release, so I couldn't do it in my initial stream, but I got it done now. That was one of the things on my list. How's it going, Ava? How's it going, DNA? If we're talking about taking care of cards, low-key, I recommend some damage on an MP copy Koro Shiny Mew. That card turned blue slaps. It looks so cool. Yeah, that's an interesting theory, an interesting concept of like intentionally changing the colors. That would get into territory of like, okay, are you altering cards to increase their value, sun damaging a card that looks better when the UV has damaged the card? That's a very interesting thought. But if it's your card and you just want your card to look a certain way, I mean, I see no issue with that. I mean, there's no issue with handling your own saturation and hue, coloration of the card the way that you want it to look. If you had a bunch of mint childhood first edition WotC commons on commons, would you send them in now, or think it better to just put them back on the shelf to sell in 10 years? First edition WotC, if you're talking base, mint ones, mint. You do say mint. If you're talking base, send them in now. If you're talking anything non-base, in my opinion, there's so much of it out there. Even base, there's so much of it out there, but at least it's base. And I think there's a lot less base than Fossil Jungle Rocket. Neos, it's harder to say. But I don't think commons and uncommons, whether they're first edition or not, are a good investment long-term. 10-year time horizon, I feel like they hit their all-time highs in 2020, and it's just down from here. Maybe they come up a little bit. Maybe they drop too far at some point, but yeah, it's tough. G1T Landon's 18 just shipped. He got wrecked. Sorry about that. PSA said, we heard y'all thought we graded soft. How's it going, Java? Gold TCG, stop dealing with WotC packs for the exact reason. Too easy for them to scam, and eBay won't be able to protect you. Happened twice, costing 800 total. Yeah, that's rough. That's unfortunate. Appreciate you, Yosef. I hope I'm saying that right. Basic said he'll take 3 booster boxes and rip live for viewer retention. Honestly, if you buy 3 booster boxes at full MSRP, who cares about viewer retention? I'll be doing well. Metazoo red on red in the PSA cases looks good. Is this the new Teletubby DCG? Metazoo popping up right when I'm ripping Metazoo, just in time. Good timing there. What Metazoo card should I invest in? You should not invest in any Metazoo, nor Pokemon, nor Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh, Weiss, nothing. You should not invest in cards. Flip. I know Flex knows how to flip cards, for sure. Yeah, Sarah Good is a good pull. What's the card I should buy for maximum stonks? I hear Moonbryon is doing big things. Um, how's it going? Yeah, we lost Ernesto with the Metazoo. We lost Ernesto. The old card shop only buys loose booster boxes from sketchy TCG player sellers. Sorry. I don't know if spellbooks. I don't think mapping goes beyond booster boxes, but I'm not positive. Let me see if I can find it. Drowned pianist. Need to be very careful. Need to enunciate with that one. It was a reverse hollow, right? Oh yeah, I don't have this camera on. Drowned pianist. Pianist. Need to enunciate that one well, and I think I was talking too quickly, and I probably didn't enunciate it well. Argentiners. What made you get into Metazoo since you said you never really got an MTG? I don't really know. I saw it. It looked cool to me. The idea of cryptids sounded cool to me. I've talked about it in many different Metazoo videos. I'm not gonna try to make Metazoo take over this one, but I like a lot of the things that they're doing. It's unfortunate that the boxes were just mappable from Seance, but true random in packs, aside from Seance being mappable, true random in packs, not having a guaranteed, non-weighable packs, having the security seal, tamper seal on the boxes, having different hollows for every set. They do a lot of cool things. And Bigfoot, just the idea of taking creatures from the public domain and putting them into a TCG really intrigued me. Really, really brilliant idea, in my opinion. Theoretically, anyone can do it. And you can't use Metazoo's rendition of cryptids, but anyone can make a TCG and make it around Bigfoot, Mothman, things like that. I would assume, unless Metazoo completely copyrighted, trademarked that whole idea, but you definitely can't use their renditions of the cryptids. But like Bigfoot, I can make T-shirts that have Bigfoot on it and sell them. I could, like, anyone. It's in the public domain. That's how that works. Like, they're just up for grabs for anybody. I pulled zero serialized cards. I opened 3,000 or more packs and I pulled 0 serialized cards. Unless I missed it. I didn't know serialized cards were a thing until like a week ago, about a week after I ripped everything. So as I sell every holo, as I pack all my orders, I'm checking all of them to make sure I'm not actually accidentally shipping. Because there were some screenshots that I saw where people sold serialized cards numbered out of 20 for $50 on eBay. Like, the cursed contract, as I said, it's about $50. I saw people selling cards that, like, selling them for what they would go for, non-serialized. So they didn't know, but it was in the picture. So pretty cool to see. Yeah, thanks Jacob for supporting. Metazoo likes to see. Some people like to see the Metazoo. In Magic, players sun damage older cards in red for their decks. That's interesting. It's cool to get like a cooler aesthetic from sun damaging them. It's an interesting idea. Dan, you need to get with Mike and try to get yourself a Dan promo, even if you have to pay him to do it so you can use it to sell bundles like Rudy. I do not have the clout. I don't have the pull to get a promo, but yeah, I just got my Rudy kits in today. Rudy Market Medium. I have the whole run of Rudy promos. I was lucky enough to pull Rudy Claws in one of my 3 6.9 year kits that I opened up. Yeah, Dan Bigfoot promo. I mean, there's already Rudy Really Big Feet, so it wouldn't be the first one, but it would be cool. Beanie Babies are poised to moon. Invest now, per Josh. Dan told me to take the penalties withdrawing my 401k and buy PSA 10 first edition uncommons. Dan influenced me to quit my job and play with Pokemon cards. Basic Caster says Metazoo hour begins now. Ask Dan anything. Oh man. If you open, I'm gonna get fully caught up on chat, and I have one more stack. I have a stack of WotC first edition PSA hollows to show in my optimization attempt. Tracking out CGC and grading with PSA. Where are we? Serious question, when are we getting a logo update with Quaxley? I'm not going to put Quaxley in the new logo. New logo is actually going to have like, it's going to look like Charmander, but it's going to look like him, look enough unlike him that it's not copyright infringing. I think long term, I just want to be catch 'em all collectibles, like with a certain color palette, with just the words. Like I don't really want to do something that's copyright infringing. I don't want to do like yours is clever. DNA, you got the defense, normal attack form of deoxys. You got I mean a picture of DNA, the double helix structure of DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid. That's not copyright infringing. So people can look at your logo and name and understand that it's tied to deoxys, but it's not copyright infringing. I already have an S corporation under Catch 'em All Collectibles. I don't intend to change my S corporation name. I could do Catch 'em All Collectibles Incorporated and operate under a different DBA. I could do business as something else, but I'm just going to stick with Catch 'em All Collectibles. I'm going to do a rebrand with a kind of Charmander looking guy in the coming months and a certain color palette. And then long term, like five years from now, maybe just drop the fake Charmander altogether and Catch 'em All Collectibles on its own. It's not catchy. It's not like short. It's not easy to say. It's not easy to spell. Some people spell collectibles with an I, some with an A. It's horrible branding, but horrible branding, horrible lighting, horrible audio, horrible everything, no editing. That is my brand. So it fits with the brand. That's my description on that. Has any dead TCG ever become popular again? I don't mean less popular like Pokemon after WotC, but real dead TCGs. I don't know the answer to that question. It's a really interesting thought. Has a TCG completely died and then like 10 or 20 years later, 10 years later, 20 years, I mean, Magic was one of the original TCGs, I think, and that's not even, well, it's 30 years old now, so they're doing the 30th anniversary. But yeah, for a TCG to have died for 20 years, like there's not been enough time for that to have really happened. But have any died for 5 or 10 years, come back resurrected? I don't know. Interesting idea, interesting thought. I don't think spellbooks can be mapped, but I'm not positive. I only opened like 2 or 3 spellbooks, so I'm not even sure. How much stronger is the Japanese card market now compared to what you've seen in the past few years? The first several years I was in the hobby, from 2014 to 2018, I didn't touch Japanese hardly at all. So I have been in the Japanese market for 4 years now, but it was primarily like prize cards. I'm getting more and more. I bought 100 VMAX Climax boxes. I bought 100 Pokemon Go boxes. I'm going to try to source 100 booster boxes of every Japanese product moving ahead, minimum 100 to 200. So I will be more in tune with the Japanese market, hopefully moving ahead. But it's only something that started like a month or 2 ago. I know crazy things are going on with Japanese Moonbryon. I know the Japanese waifu market. Overall, though, like I don't have enough knowledge to really give a good, well thought out answer there. I don't think. Uh-oh. About time to ban Old Card Shop. Quaxley most overrated starter I ever seen, like GTFO with that dumb hat. He about to look like Scrooge McDuck. Oh man, the absolute slander. That's rough. I mean, Quaxley's my boy. Shots fired. Let's see. Lord Pokesmoke's missing Rudy Claus. Dan convinced me to drop out of college to talk about shiny cardboard on my computer. Well, you've already well surpassed what I've done. So I think more than double the subscriber count. So apparently it's working. Logo talk triggers me. I feel attacked. Imagine having a logo. Yeah, Catch 'em All Collectibles, super catchy. Was DBZ dead before Super? I don't know. Digimon popping off. I don't know anything about Digimon, really. You think Pokemon should remake base Jungle Fossil with same chase Pokemon but have new alt arts replace the old holos? It would be interesting. It would probably be divisive. I think a lot of people would love it. A lot of people would hate it. I'm up for whatever. Like, Evolutions gets a lot of hate, a lot of love, just really divisive. I'm like easy to please. Evolutions was fine. It was cool to see the reprinted for the 20th time. Rusty actually just recently did a video of all the base set evolution or base set artwork reprints. He recently just did one where he showed all his PSA 10s. But yeah, it would be cool to get reprints with like the same art as a base holo, and then to get like an alt art as the big chase. I don't like rainbow rares personally, but like a full art too. So a regular holo, a full art, and then an alt art. That would be interesting to me. Whether it should be a main set, whether it would be like an Evolutions 2.0, not take all of them, but take some of the better ones. A lot of different ways they could do it, and I personally think it would be cool. Some people would probably hate it though. Some people would love it. Harry Potter popped off, but Harry Potter, like I think the thought might have been, did a TCG die? Did it like come back around, and then did it start printing again? Like Harry Potter's not printing again, as far as I understand. I don't know if that's ever happened, but it would be interesting. I'm gonna buy Scarlet and or Violet. As I bought Sun and Moon, as I bought Sword and Shield, I buy them all and I stick them away. I think like I'll play it someday, some rainy day. It's hard. It's hard when you have kids. It's hard when you're trying to, well, when you quit your job and you're trying to do your own thing full time. Someday I'll play them. So I'm gonna buy them when they come out. Stupidly, I mean, I should just buy them 2-3 years later when they've gone down in price. But I'm gonna buy them when they come out, and I probably won't play them for decades. But we'll see what happens. Crunchy peanut butter, 100%. Shout out to Kai. We had some laughs at your expense earlier, Kai. Let me show it on the proper camera. Kai's in the chat. Here's your PSA 6 Raichu. Sorry again for that, but it is what it is. You do have a 1 of 2 Grimer still, so that's good. Crunchy peanut butter all day though. Crunchy peanut butter. Fuel Card Shop's going with Fouet Coco. Basic Trainer. Check out Basic Trainer. I mean, we might as well pump Basic Trainer while we're in here too. He just went live. I couldn't believe it. He went live the other night though. Let's get him more subs. How do I go to your channel? Oops. Go to channel. So go drop some subs on Basic Trainer. Ava's making $3 an hour on here. I'm making $2.50. So again, you're doing better. I'm making about $2.50. I think my last month was $100. And when you figure all the time into doing the lives, prepping the lives, and entering comments, and I'm probably putting in, I gotta be putting in 40 hours a month, and I'm making $100 a month, so about $2.50 an hour is where I'm at. I'd buy VMAX Climax or EV Heroes sooner than later before they get too pricey, since I'm not expecting reprints. I bought VMAX Climax on the reprint. I was going to buy EV Heroes, but it never got down low enough to where I was targeting. So, DNA says the only good take I've heard you make. How's it going, Flex? Anything you're hoping to see for the TCG for Scarlet and Violet? Quaxley Alt Art or Quaxley Gold Star. Can we have Dan versus Van? Basic says, I don't know about the other two, but it's Elgato for me. Elgato, I actually have a Stream Deck that I'm not using yet, but Elgato makes, like, my lights are all Elgato. My Stream Deck is Elgato. I think the cat's name is like Spirigato or something. Dan versus Van 1v1 basketball challenge. I'm tall, but I can't play very well. It's been a long time. PSA 1 equals CGC 4. Pokemon games don't always go down in price. Celebi makes a good point. Just play on live stream. You seem to have time now. Yeah, I mean, what am I doing right now? I might as well just be playing Pokemon and making my $2.50 an hour playing Pokemon. You plan on grading games with CGC? I do have a couple random games that I bought, like from my childhood. Twisted Metal, Deus Ex. Another one of the games you need to enunciate as you say it, but I might grade some of them. I have hiding back behind these boxes, I have the lime green Game Boy Color. So I might grade that, but I don't know. Kai has a toilet made of gold. He'll be fine. If you could have one Pokemon in real life, but you have to bring it wherever you go, which one would it be? I would probably think of one like utility wise. Like who would have the most utility? It would like Mewtwo, his ability, move things with his mind, and all the powers that he has would just be crazy utility wise. Waxley, Charmander, Pikachu, the cute, cuddly, awesome ones up there. Any of the ones you can fly on, Dragonite would be cool, Charizard would be cool. There's a lot of utility, a lot of cool stuff out there. I don't know who I would pick though. Arceus would probably be like the obvious. I think I'm not that familiar with that era of games or anything, but I think he's like the god Pokemon. He probably has the most abilities of anyone, if I had to guess. I need Dan to hit the gritty. I don't know what that means. The gritty. I appreciate the link to basic. I just unsubbed. Yeah, if I sell out and show modern 24/7 and do open mouth thumbnails, you can make 2K a month. I can't though. I don't think I have the charisma. I don't have the energy. I don't have like the voice. Well, either the voice or the like voice stamina. Like after a night of drinking in Denver, after a night of like hanging out, talking loud over music, over other people talking, I lose my voice quickly. So like I can't be shouting at the top of my lungs every time I pull a V card worth $2. So I wouldn't be able to do it personally. I wouldn't enjoy it either. I can't make content that I don't enjoy. I like hanging out right now, just chatting about whatever. Just showing off PSA returns, showing off getting wrecked on my slab optimization, but I couldn't do the full the full YouTube game for sure. I'm gonna try to catch up the chat, and I'm gonna show this. I have one stack left. I'm gonna go for an hour more tops. I'm gonna go 4:30's quitting time. So I'm gonna show off this last stack after I catch up on chat, and then I'm just gonna hang out. I do have some cards that I could go through to look for more graders, to look for what needs to go to PSA to be graded. I have one last row from that $23,000 collection that I bought. I might go through that if people want, but yeah, let me catch up, show off my last stack, and then go from there. Josh makes 69 cents a month. Elgato's a great brand. More open mouth thumbnails. How did people like my short? How did you like this thumbnail? I stole my kid's sunglasses and I made James, the NG Emporium, he used to do YouTube shorts. Now he's graduated to TikTok. He's completely over on TikTok now. So, yeah, I'm not really hip enough to do TikTok only, but I do have 2 shorts under my belt. One with those glasses. One that was my pulling the Charizard on the PK stream. I might try doing shorts, but I need to get like the maximum bang for my buck. So when I do a short, it's going to go on Instagram Reel, YouTube Short, and TikTok. All 3. When are we getting a Dan dunk stream? I don't have a basketball hoop, so not anytime soon. More YouTuber dunk videos. Low key, the real money is affiliate links. I do make more money. I make more money in my affiliate links than I do my YouTube. So not significantly more, but a little over $100 a month, I think. Most utility Vaporeon. Yeah, please no, Cam. Please no. Yeah, I don't know if Ava got an editor or if she's doing the editing herself, but definitely noticed some upped game in the editing over there. Something that I think I lied a few months back. I think I started saying that I'm going to get Adobe Premiere. I'm going to start editing a little bit. I've not done it yet. Maybe I will. Maybe I will at some point, but I still haven't taken that leap. It's just tough. I should. I took the leap and I made that short that I made, and I found out how easy that was to do. Really, really easy. Maybe I'll do shorts more now. So we'll start with that, and then maybe editing will come. Can't Jirachi control time, or is that Celebi? I'm not positive, but that's a pretty powerful bit of utility there. Man, I'm too far behind in chat. I'm convinced I would crush it at opening modern for 12 hours a day. Cam, you have the platform. You have, like, use Z's Flips. Dust off Z's Flips. You have a channel with like 8,000 subscribers. Just start going live and ripping modern. Or if James will let you, go live, rip modern with 19.5, 19.4, whatever we're at with ZNG Emporium. I mean, you have access to the platform. So I would just start doing it 2 hours a night. Work a little overtime. I'm sure James will let you use one of the two channels. He's got two. PSA's always graded all over the place. They've always graded a bit inconsistent for my liking, and same. Halloween short was 10 out of 10. Yeah, shout out Skate Ernesto. Ernesto is the thumbnail guy. I tried doing those. I did those for a while myself, and they were awful. Like, scroll back 3 or 4 months on my channel and look at my thumbnails. That was me. That was rough. That was real rough. Can you do a really expensive giveaway? Not right now, but I'm sure I'll do something around Christmas time, probably. Yeah, I get that paywall money too. Ava's got a Patreon as well, so Ava's got paywall money too. So I don't know what she's making over there, but it could be close to what I'm making at Pokenomics too. I don't know. Hey, Catch 'em all. Just bought some cards from you on eBay, but I've been watching you on YouTube for years. Love to hear you talk about the old days and stories from when you were a judge/player. I never was a judge or a player. I've always been just a collector. So back in 99 to 03, I was a collector. I got out of it till 2014. I came back as a collector. Never played the game. But I have a video coming out this Monday talking about all these boxes behind me, talking about the experience, the prices I paid, buying and opening all those boxes, some of my early goals, getting back into it. So, yeah, I'm going to do some more videos diving into the archives, going over some old spreadsheets and talking about big buys I made in the past. And if Quaxley Alt Art gets to 1K raw, are you still a buyer? If it spends a long time under 1K raw, I'll already have like 1,000 of them. And then when it hits 1K, I'll be a Quaxley millionaire. But I won't sell because diamond hands Quaxley. Carium, nice to see you getting into the flipping biz. Do you have any advice on storing blister packs long term so the glue doesn't separate? I have no advice. I don't really own blister packs. I don't like blister packs for that reason. They kind of scare me. I guess stable temperature and stable temperature and stable humidity. I would probably lay them flat, but not stack them on top of each other. I would probably lay them flat in some rigid case so that like gravity isn't forcing down on them. Not that it's that much, but I would just be nervous with that. I don't know how to play the game. I'm a pure evil flipper. I'm just on YouTube for fun. Yeah, YouTube is supplementary income to some extent, but my primary is just completely flipping, so that's where I put all my time. Skippy would edit for me, will accept payment in Pokemon cards. I have a couple of people who have reached out to me willing to edit. It's a weird thing because like I don't make enough money through it to justify paying them too much, but I also don't feel right having them edit for free or for like below their normal rate. So like I don't want to pay hundreds of dollars a video to have professional editing done and then have a video earn 50 cents or $2. And I also don't want to say like, oh, I'll pay you all my video revenue and then you do 2 hours worth of work editing and you get $5 for it. Neither way feels good. So as of right now, I'm just not editing. That's where I'm at with that. Less than negative time. I mean, Cam, you don't even have kids. I don't know if you ever plan to in the future, but that's like a very cliche thing for a parent to say to a non-parent, but I'm going to be that guy. Like, wait till you have kids. If you ever decide to have kids, then you will have very, very negative time. You will find out what negative time is. Ask James. I mean, James knows. Flex Gods is trying to sell his channel. Oh yeah, he might be thinking of Echo Base. Yeah, I have more from that collection next to me. I might go through if I can catch up with chat. If I ever saw Dan play a game of Pokemon. I'll need to clean up all my old collection by spreadsheets. My standard thing would be like someone emails me, or it wasn't someone emailing me before, because I through E4 a little bit, I would get some people reaching out with collections, but primarily it would be me finding a collection on eBay. I'd open up an Excel file, multi-tabbing, just like all over the place. I think what I might do for my video, I'll show the raw spreadsheet as it was from 8 years ago, 7 years ago, 6 years ago. And then I'll do like a dialed up version that can actually be like followed with some semblance of organization. And so I'll show the raw footage, the raw file, and then I'll like do the whole video on a dialed up one. I want to see the spreadsheets. Monday, you're going to see a spreadsheet about these boxes behind me. The video's already recorded. It goes live Monday at 1 p.m. Mason Berry's here for the Drowned Pianist. Cam sees James negative time. I have one more stack. I'm going to get through this one more stack before I... Oh yeah, I could do a live. Show the raw spreadsheet in its hideous state. And then just do a makeover live on stream talking about the collection that I bought. But yeah, anyways, let me show these last two stacks if I can get them to come in. We got Retrospecs. I don't know if Retrospecs is still out here in chat. Self-dubbed Giovanni of the hobby. I went from a 9 to a 9, so that one's kind of flat. Aerodactyl 9 to a 9. I'm going to churn through these pretty quick because overall it's a lot of 9s to 9s if I remember correctly. Again, 8.5 to a 9 on a Dragonite, that's a clear win. That's a clear and obvious win. I don't know how much it goes up exactly, but I just listed this last night. I think Gengar too. Dragonite is a few $100s, and so is Gengar. So I would imagine they gained at least $100 going from a CGC 8.5 to a PSA 9, if not a couple hundred. And these cards going from PSA 9, CGC 9 to PSA 9, they definitely paid for the grading fee. Liquidity will be higher because more people collect PSA, and value is slightly higher on CGC versus PSA, largely speaking. Not always. Like there's been times, surely, where I've seen low list on a Kabutops is $100. I list the CGC at $100 and it sells too. So you can sell CGC cards at the same price as PSA, but more likely the PSA is slightly higher. So there's a Lapras 9 to 9, Moltres 9 to 9. In hindsight, I clearly should have just probably sold these 5 months ago as CGC 9s, and I probably would have done better because I think the prices on these have come down over the past few months. So there's a 9 to an 8, so there's an L. Mr. Mime, I couldn't find his label. So there's a chance that Mr. Mime might not have had a label. Maybe he wasn't cracked. Maybe he was one that I got in a box break or something. Maybe I opened a pack to verify a box and I just had Mr. Mime hanging around. But in any case, continuing on, Pidgeot 9 to 9. I mean, it shows you one thing. CGC and PSA are on par a lot of times at the 9 grade. A lot of 8.5s either go to 8 to 9. A lot of 9s go to 9s. They're fairly on par. Here we got another 8.5 to a 9. So it's good to see whether you collect PSA, whether you collect CGC, or if you collect both. A lot of times, they're right in the same ballpark. There's another 99, and then our last card. I didn't have one for this one. So for whatever reason, I didn't have one for the Dark Arbok. It could have been a card I pulled in a box break. It could have been a card I pulled verifying a box or something. I don't really remember. We still got 45 minutes. I'm going to go back full screen. I'm going to catch up with chat. And then what I think I'm going to do, I think I'm just going to go through, there's like 800 cards here. I probably won't get through all of them, but I'll just get through whatever I can get through in 45 minutes, hang out with chat, and go from there. Good Japanese Pokemon YouTube channels? I don't really know. Just, I told Nick he should do that. I think it would be interesting. I think there would be like people at work that are not really working right now. Maybe they are, just putting it in the background. If I just put a camera up in the corner and live stream my whole day, 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m., just me packing orders, me going through collections. I couldn't show my computer screen the whole time, obviously, because I'd be doxing people's addresses. It would be an interesting concept. Maybe someday I'll get set up to do that on a day where like I do a little bit of everything. I do some listings. I do like go through a collection that I bought, maybe open a little bit of product, browse eBay to try to source some product. That would be, it would be an interesting video. Probably, I mean, if I'm doing it anyways, like my productivity would certainly go down, especially if I was hanging out with chat. But productivity would probably be 50% at best. So an 8-hour live stream, I'd probably get like 4 hours of work done if I was lucky. My wife always asks me that. She's like, you just streamed live for 4 hours. She's like, you were cracking slabs, you were opening packs, whatever you were doing. She's like, how much time would that have taken you if you were not streaming? At best, I'm 50% efficient when I'm streaming. Probably more realistically, a lot of times I'm like 25% efficient. So maybe I'd only get 2 hours done. But to do it once or twice here or there, maybe a quarterly Dan show, as somebody said. A day in the life, the Dan show. Maybe I'll do that. That would be cool. What would it take for me to shill One Piece? If this counts as shilling, putting your comment on the screen, then I guess I'm doing it. But I don't know anything about it. I don't watch the anime. I don't know anything about it. I know Squeaks just got like 8th place in a One Piece tournament, so that's cool. Bless God shilling Fire Emblem Cipher. Old Card Shop says One Piece. I'm more of a 3-piece with mash and gravy and a biscuit kind of guy. I'm on the same page as Old Card Shop right there. Yeah. Flex Gods does the same. He regrades in circles instead of just selling. Opportunity cost is a big thing, and these ones are not being like, I mentioned it before, but historically speaking, I've been in the hobby for 8 years. I've graded well over 10,000 cards, if not 20,000 cards. Probably over 20,000 cards at this point. I've only cracked like 2 or 3 months, 3 months, 4 months ago when I did all that cracking for the $18 special. I cracked about 500 cards, I think. Prior to those, I cracked less than 100. So historically speaking, like I don't crack a ton of slabs. I wanted to do one pass to give it a try. I'm not gonna crack any cards twice. Like one and done, sell it. It is what it is. You got to take that shot once. Who sells? We just regrade. Fire Emblem's bussin'. How did Nick do on Whatnot? I have no idea. I might have like a DM from him. I might have him reporting back. I don't know if he's still live. I should see if he's still live. Somebody tell me if Nick's still live. I don't think I have it. Oh, I do have it. It's in my history. Should we check back in on Nick? Nick's still streaming. Nick's streaming to 34 people, so he doesn't have 80 like he did. I'm gonna put his audio through for like a minute or two. I'm not gonna put him on screen again though.
When it comes to anything outside of English,
unless I can really quickly. Oh, that's the wrong one. I just showed my grades. I showed the wrong window. He's got music on. He's gonna get me. I'm gonna get demonetized. He's got music on. I probably just got demonetized there, but he's still going on Whatnot, so he's not done yet. If he's not done, I'm gonna link him, and I'm gonna send you guys over to him to rate him. Java's totally working. Andrew would lurk. The Dan show. A day in the life. Maybe I'll do that. That would be really cool. It would be weird. It would be a weird feeling because I would be like, I would be checking my phone and I would need to like make sure I didn't have it in view of the camera, doxing people's phone numbers and I need to have some video that I could just play when I went to the bathroom and when I just have a sandwich ready to bring down for lunch. Maybe I'll do that. That would be cool. Copy the Card Collector 2 video. I'll have to see. I'm familiar with the name. I'm familiar with who he is, but I'm not sure of the video you're referencing. Yeah, Retro, make more videos. Flex, make more videos. Everyone, make more videos. We need more content. I get nothing done watching these lives. I can't imagine what it would be like if I was actually doing the lives. Yeah. It's tough. Let's start a reality TV PokeTuber show. Oh, God. Okay, here we go. A Dan in the life. Nick quoting buy now prices. There we go. Nick better be pumping over there for me on Whatnot. I'm gonna just go through. This is from the 800 card collection, or 800 cards. This is 800 cards from the 4,000 plus card collection. I did a video on it Monday. So this Monday, I think it was this Monday, video just went live, the $23,000 collection that I bought. I think I'll do a quick pass to just show you every card, and then I'll go through and try to see what's gradable. So I'm going to make 4 piles from this. If they're damaged, they go to Whatnot. Oh, I don't know if DNA is still in the chat, but there's his whole Deoxys page. Bunch of Arceus, Rayquaza, more Deoxys. But yeah, there'll be 4 stacks. As I showed in that video, the true Mint Plus cards go to PSA at $18 or $15 grading. The otherwise Mint cards with a slight bit of damage or an issue go to CGC. The near Mint LP cards go to Troll and Toad. And is that all of them? Oh yeah, then the damaged cards. Anything like PSA 6 or less will go to Nick or Echo or Vandy. They'll go to, or old card shop. Let me know, Josh. Do you want to take a singles consignment? Do you want to try doing a consignment too? I can actually show you my stack. I'm not gonna do it all in one Whatnot stream. I need to see how Nick, Adam. Sorry, Vandy, if your name's not Adam. I'm remembering it as Adam. I think that's it. So Nick, Adam, and Joe, I need to see how they do. It's definitely Adam. It's 99% sure it's Adam. But I need to see how they did, and I need to determine if I want to send more to them, who I want to send them to, see who kind of won, who did the best for me. A little bit of a competition there. But some amount of these are probably going to be damaged. Some amount of these are going to be in a future Whatnot stream. I will show my stack, though. I will show my stack. There's quite a few crazy cards that are damaged. They're damaged, but they're still crazy cards that are going to be done in the future Whatnot consignment. Got some e-reader. Got some pretty solid stuff here. I got to figure out what I'm doing with it. So I'm still not done with that collection. I still need to classify where all these cards are going. I will say, too, I see Ava in the chat asking about an Ampharos Hollow. I don't know where it went, but I've had many people reach out, and I apologize. I know it's like a tease to show these cards and then say that I can't really justify selling single cards from the lots. But like that Ampharos, I don't know whether it's gem mint. I might be grading it if it's gem mint. It might be damaged. Like, I don't know the condition. I had at least 20 people reach out to me after that video. Discord, Instagram, email, YouTube comments, like, hey, what's the condition on this card? Can I buy it? It's so hard to do that. It's not the intent. I know, like Rudy makes videos of collection buys that he does. None of these are for sale. Mine might be a little more frustrating because it's like, all these will be for sale. I'm just not sure what platform, and I'm not sure what price. So like the ones I grade with PSA, I'm going to wait till I find out what the grade is. I'm going to list them low list on eBay. Same as CGC. The ones that go to Troll and Toad, nice thing about Troll and Toad, I'll send out thousands of cards to them, raw fulfillment. That's the hollow. Yeah, that's the hollow, the pop hollow. I'll send a lot of these out raw fulfillment with one download of a spreadsheet and one upload. I can price thousands of cards at once. Literally, my Troll and Toad Evo inventory is 10,000 unique items. I can download the whole spreadsheet. I can make the price low list minus 1 cent, and I can upload it in 60 seconds. So I don't even need to do price research. I don't need to go to TCG Player. I don't need to go to eBay Recent Sold. Troll and Toad Evo is lovely for that because you literally just like, it's just done for you. The pricing is just done for you. So that's largely why I grade what's gradable, obviously. Anything that's damaged, most people won't want anyways. And then the stuff that's near mint light play, it's best to just sell on Evo for me. If it's damaged, hit you up. I'll try to remember. I'll see if I come across it. Let me make a note so that I remember. If I have a pen and a piece of paper. Let me make. I had a list here. I wrote a list on a yellow envelope. I think I hit everything I wanted to hit in this stream. I'm gonna continue going till 4:30, but I just wanted to make sure I hit everything. Nick and I will be doing the podcast tomorrow. I wrote down podcast shout out. So shout out Catch 'em all collectibles. Shout out Pokeflips. Nick and I will be streaming Pokeflips. Let me see actually where we're at. I'm gonna link our YouTube channel because we are nearing. It's actually crazy. We have 960 subscribers and we have over 20,000 watch hours. So a lot of people will get their 1,000 or they'll get their 1,000 subscribers and they'll be short of the 4,000 watch hours that you need for monetization. But Nick and I have 20,000 watch hours on Pokeflips, 20 or 25,000 watch hours with less than 1,000 subs. So once we hit 1,000 subs, we are able to be monetized and we can make that sweet, sweet $2.50 an hour. I know. I think both your names are Adam. I don't know if Vandy's still in here. Let me double check. I think that's what threw me off because my wife was like, she said, I think she, something like, no, that Pokesmoke guy, his name was Adam. So I don't think Vandy's name was Adam, but I'm pretty sure both your names are Adam. Problem is it's so hard to search messages on different platforms. I can't remember where Vandy gave me his address. Must have been on Instagram. I'm going to check though, so I can be sure. I'm so bad with names. Usually I need to meet someone 5 times before I remember their name. And I apologize to everyone for that. I don't see any DM. I definitely have DMs with Vandy. Oh, it's because my internet. I have my Wi-Fi off so that it doesn't kill my stream. But let me see. Let me get caught up on chat. Yeah, Julia, I have a video coming out Monday. Next Monday. I opened every box in the hobby. This is only 48 boxes, all 90 something boxes. I've opened every set years ago. It was one of my first goals getting back into the hobby. Vandy's name is Adam as well. So confirmed. Adam and Adam. Lord Pokesmoke and Vandy are both Adam. But anyways, I have a video coming out Monday, and I have a deep dive in Patreon. If anyone wants to pay the $10 a month, get the deeper dive analytics. I go through like the most comprehensive historical box prices that I've seen anywhere, going all the way back to the year 2000. But for Monday, free, not behind a paywall, I go through every box that I bought, the price that I paid, and the value they are today. Really interesting video for me to make. Hopefully it's interesting for people to watch too. Let's see. PokeTubers Fortnite Duos tournament. Condition on Shiny Gardevoir. I have no idea. I don't know where Shiny Gardevoir is either. But yeah, I'll have to oh god, it was clipped. Once I get the piles made, I'll probably have these cards next to me. Maybe next week's live stream. There's a new PSA return that's going to be back next week. That it'll probably be a 10 card, $50 or $30 PSA return, as well as classifying all these cards next to me. There's no way I'm going to get through them in the next half an hour. But Jake just posted it. So if you're in Patreon but not in Discord, Jake just posted the link. Yeah, Evo's amazing. Evo is insane. J-Rob, all these boxes behind me I personally cracked. Primarily between 2015 and 2017. What are some successful bartering tactics you employ in big collection buys? Being cash ready. A lot of times people come to me wanting to buy like a 5-figure card. Hey, will you take a payment plan? Hey, will you? When you are like, what's your account details? I have the wire ready. What's your PayPal? I have the transfer ready. When you're ready to just pay, that speaks a lot. When you're buying a $23,000 collection and you don't have the money ready, and you don't respond quickly to your messages. So responding quickly and just having cash ready to go. I mean, at the end of the day, money talks. So if someone had offered higher than me and if someone had been ready at the same time offering 25, 26, they would have gotten it. I was there ready though with 23. So that's the most successful tactic I think there is. As far as, I mean, you can go through, like, I don't want to get, like, into sleazy sales or buy tactics, like, but you can go through, like, just telling them, not even being sleazy, just telling them, like, hey, you know you got 4,000 cards. The amount of work that this would be is a lot. Like, this is literally going to be, it won't be hundreds of hours, but it'll be tens of hours. Less like, direct labor time, but more, like, time value of money time, more like submitting the PSA, putting another, I submitted 400 cards from this collection, another $6,000 in grading fees. So another $6,000 in grading fees that the seller may or may not have, another 6 months of waiting for cards to come back that the seller may not want to wait. And then when the cards come back, I'm not just going to wholesale bulk auction them. I'm going to low list buy it now. I'm going to try to optimize, get all the money out of them that I can. That takes more time. Some of these cards from this collection, I will still have in my inventory 5 years from now. Some cards that I bought from collections 7 years ago, I still have in my inventory today. Some of them graded, some of them not yet graded. Like, some cards hang around a long time. And getting all that money up front, there's something to be said for that. Taking all the risk away, really something to be said for that. Have you heard of the machines I think TCG Player rents out that sorts hundreds of bulk cards and prices them out for you? Something Mason might be aware of. Yeah, who in this chat isn't already watching Pokeflips? Yeah, you probably all are, to be fair. But we'll be live tomorrow at 1 p.m. Pokeflips. So there's another live stream tomorrow at 1 p.m. till 4:30 p.m. Yeah, Roka. I believe Roka makes one. There's other ones out there. Basically what they do is they have a vacuum and they vacuum up the cards from slots. They'll sort them by value. They'll sort them by set. They use like a camera. They image them. They compare it to some database from TCG Player to pull up the prices. I've heard of them. I know someone who's getting one soon. Mason actually has one. Mason's made a video on that. Shout out Cardinal Gaming. Go check out Cardinal Gaming's video on that. Definitely a cool machine. I don't think it'll ever be something applicable to me because I just submit to Troll and Toad and they do all the sorting for me. They probably, some amount of their sorting is probably human. Some amount is probably those machines as well, though. Like, I'm assuming they use those machines too. So, I can't wait to get that YouTube money. Imagine all the sense I'll make. Flex will do 70% comps if you buy everything. I would too. I'll do 60% comps. If you buy everything I own, I will do 60% comps. Hell, I'll probably do 50% comps if you buy everything I own. I think people get really hung up on, oh no, I need to get 85%. If I sold on eBay myself, it's 85%. When you sell massive collections, there's so much work there. There's so much risk there. There's so much varying condition. There's so much time to like optimize that and get all the money out of it. To just get, like, if I could get 50% cash for my entire inventory, I'm talking, like, you will get my Pikachu trophies at 50% value, but you have to take everything. You have to take everything, my entire 7-figure inventory. No one's going to do it. No one's going to pay 50% for everything because it's just not a thing. Like, people think when a business offers 50, 60, 70% comps, oh, they're scamming you. You could get more, blah, blah, blah. That's a good offer. Like, that's crazy money to be able to get that. Plus the whole market price. There's no one set market price. Are we using a high market price estimate or a low market price? The range is huge. J-Rob, there was nothing crazy. It was slab optimization return, mostly lateral moves from CGC 9 to PSA 9. Couple downgrades, couple upgrades, nothing too big. Mason's $50 a month from YouTube, pretty sick. Big timer over here. PSA actually has a official middleman of sorts. There's an official branch of PSA. They do not grade cards in Japan. They just take the submissions in and forward them to the US to be graded. Oh, I make more than that. Okay, I was gonna say $50. You gotta make more than that. $50 a video, probably. I make 100 a month. Yeah. I make 100 a month from YouTube, so you definitely make more than that for sure. Mr. Moneybags. How's that fist store doing? Yeah, shout out Pokemon Center. One of these days, maybe I'll be sponsored. But as of right now, I just have all Pokemon Center stuff behind me with no sponsorship. If anyone from the Pokemon Center is watching this, if anyone watching this knows someone who works at the Pokemon Center, hook me up on that sponsorship deal. Thanks for the advice. Have you ever offered to sell a collection for someone for a fee that was out of your price range, or is that typically too much work for the money? I do consignments, so I do buy it now consignments. I have one or two individuals that I am doing like long-term consignment deals with. If they wanted me to buy their whole collections all at once, cash, I do not have that capital. We're talking 6-7 figure collections that I am now currently consigning, not all at once, in chunks over time, every few months, a new shipment. So yeah, absolutely. There are collections out there that I cannot afford to buy. I'm not liquid enough to buy. If and when I see those come up, I will either go for a piece of them myself, or I'll try to bring in, like, I don't know anyone. If there was $1 million collection, I don't know anyone that I could call. I would hit up Nick, Rusty, Jake, Zach. I would hit up like 10 people all at once and see if we could go 10 ways on it. But that's big time. Most expensive collection I ever bought was about $40K. So I bought a $40K collection in like 2018 when $40K went so much further. I can't wait to do a Catch 'em All archives video on that, because that one was absolutely insane. What that would be worth today, I'll cover it in the video, but I haven't done it yet. Lorcana's not out till 2023, I don't think. A little ways into 2023, I think. Moonbreon, Evolving Skies, or Mickey Mouse Lorcana long term. Can I vote neither? I have no idea. They're both so speculative. They're both so high as of today. They feel crazy to me. There's so many things I'm buying with that same amount of money instead of those. Show us the 40K collection. I've talked about it before. I've talked about it where the guy came from Canada in a full-sized, not like a U-Haul, but a full-sized van, not a box truck, a van. Like you know, a minivan, like your mom probably had when you went to soccer practice when you were growing up. Not a minivan. It was like a full-size Mercedes van, or yeah, I think it was a Mercedes van. Full-size van, like filled, totes and totes and totes. It included near complete PSA 9 EX, Old Skool EX graded set, near complete Gold Star PSA 9 set, sealed product, raw, graded, everything. I'm going to make a video on that. I will show the spreadsheet that I used to determine how much I was going to pay. I will also show a cleaned up version where you can actually see what's going on. But yeah, that's going to be a fun video. That might be months. That might be like next year this time. That could be a long ways from now, because I need to find the spreadsheet. I need to like price out a lot of things. That's going to be a while from now, but I'll do it at some point. Basic rate. But yeah, that collection, some of it was like I still have totes of binders, empty binders from the black and white era, empty binders from the EX era. I didn't like sealed packs, no sealed boxes, like no EX Deoxys boxes, no, just individual sealed packs. There were unweighed Fire Red Leaf Green packs, unweighed maybe Hold On Phantoms. There were a lot of good unweighed packs. I sold not everything. I still have some amount, but I sold a lot of it. I did really well in that collection. Had I held it, had I not sold anything, it would have completely handicapped my like cash flow. That's one thing a lot of people look at. Oh man, you bought a 40K collection years ago. If you kept that to today, it would be worth $500,000. And it probably would be. But I kept some of the stuff. Maybe I kept 4K worth. It's now 40K. So I kept 10% of it that 10x'd. And another 80% of the lot, I flipped quick for 50% to 100% profit. I probably made 20 or 30 grand quick flipping that stuff within 6 months to 12 months. And then I put that into more stuff and I flipped it and I flipped it and I flipped it. So I kept the money going. So like people always think, oh, you could have 10x, 20x, 30x, like J-Rob, probably 30x if you held. Definitely not 30x. Maybe it would have 10x'd. I forget the exact timing. I'll have to find it, but I think I've done more than that, actively flipping and holding some of the better stuff from it. And like I have monster boxes from that still that someday I'll sell. Some are gonna go to Troll and Toad. Some are gonna be sold bulk when I like get out of this someday. I'll just have someone come buy everything that remains. But yeah, I did a hybrid of mostly selling, holding some stuff, and I think I did better overall having flipped on the way up. Plus, when I sold that inventory, I bought other inventory that appreciated during the 10x. Like, that's the way that it goes. That goes into the whole investing versus flipping conversation that Jake had a live stream recently on. Oh yeah. No, I'm not like taking offense. But I think that's an actual. I wanted to comment on it because that's an actual thought that's out there. Like, I sold PSA 9 first edition Charizards years ago for $1,000. I couldn't have held those though. I couldn't. I bought and opened all these boxes. I couldn't have just bought and held these boxes sealed. Because even though I lost money opening and selling the packs, selling the hits out of a lot of these boxes, I recouped some money. I kept money working. I kept money going. Had I just bought all these boxes and sat on them, I would have ran out of money and I would have just sat on them. And I would have made, I would not have a 7-figure inventory today had I just put $5,000 into stuff in 2014 and then sat on it. I would have done well. I would have done well and I would have put many less hours into it. But I wish we were friends in 2014 too, Flex. You should have been on E4. That's where I got started, the Elite Forum. I don't do much on there these days, but I met a lot of cool people on there, and I learned a lot of stuff on there back pre-YouTube. I'm glad I'm on YouTube now, though, documenting stuff. Professor Oak making me blush, but you can't see me blushing at least because of the beard. Flipping will destroy your soul. I guess I can go back now. It's so hard the way that I have the camera set up. Let me see. It's so hard to show you guys. Like, for me to condition this stuff, I need it up here near my face. And for me to show you guys, it needs to be down here. So I can't really go through this and like classify unless I do it like this. Like, the only way I can do it, let's start at a good card. Unlimited Dark Dragonite. The only way I can condition stuff is if I do this. You'll see one card at a time. I'll pull it out of the card saver. Like, I need to condition it back here. This card's actually clean. I can show you not much whitening. Like, this card's probably a 9. This is probably grading pile. The hollow's super clean. And mind you, I mentioned it in the video. This entire $23,000 collection, almost no cards were sleeved. They were put directly into the pages. They were put into the 9-pocket pages, and that was it. So that's PSA grading pile right there. That card is clean. It's going to be... This one has a hollow scratch. This one's probably like an 8. But 8s generally, I think, is just best to sell raw, especially unlimited. I'm not going to grade an 8 unlimited. So that one's going to be the Troll and Toad pile. This is not like super exciting, I don't think, to go card by card. You can see this Cresselia. This Cresselia actually has a crease there. So that would be like a PSA 6, that would be a CGC 7 or something. That's going to go in the whatnot pile. So yeah, let me know. Let me know, Josh, are you looking to get a whatnot consignment? Because I could put one together for you. I don't know if you sell singles. You've actually mentioned. I remember hearing you mention that single streams are like bad ideas. This card's pretty mint. This Swampert's pretty mint. Got a nice swirl there. That one's probably gonna go in the grading pile. I don't know. I won't grade it at 18. This one might be like a deep grading pile that goes at 10 or 12. Old Card Shop's not a big fan of E4. As with anywhere, as with Whatnot, there are terrible people on Whatnot. There are terrible sellers on Whatnot. To paint such a broad brush, it is not the best thing to do in my opinion. There's some great people on E4. I'm sure there's bad people too. As with anything of a certain size, there's going to be a distribution of people, but I wouldn't completely write it off by any means. I don't frequent it though these days, just because now it's on my time if I'm doing it. I used to be able to do some at work on the clock, like people are watching me right now. How many people do we have watching? 74 people. Professional YouTube watchers getting paid. There's another gradable one. So there's a Dialga that's going to go to the grading pile. Not at 18, not at 15. Oh, Josh is actually doing one for Nick. Retro. That's right. He did tell me that. So yeah, maybe instead of going through card by card, I'll go grab quickly and I'll show you what I can send to Josh. Because I did send a stack. Let me come right back soon. I'm back. Let me remember to turn my camera back on. So this is a pile that I've had set aside. Troll and Toad rejects, mostly damaged cards, but like good stuff. I mean, you see a Crystal Ho-Oh, you got Unlimited Wigglytuff, you got that massive crease on the Expedition Blastoise, which is sad to see, but Mewtwo, Delta Species Snorlax, you got the Gold Star Mew. It's not the real one. It's the 2008 World Championship deck. But pretty solid stuff. Shadowless Pikachu, Donphin Prime. Solid stuff that's like not worthwhile to just throw in the trash. But if these were like bulk commons, uncommons, they would probably be thrown in the trash. But there's still value here. Like all these Southern Islands cards. You got the band cards, the Moo Moo Milk. You got an Aquapolis Victory Bell. You got break cards that'll probably be lotted together. Some ultra modern stuff you'll probably have to lot together, but Fire Red Leaf Green Hollow Charmander. Like this is a pretty solid set of cards, I think. And Echo did 100 something cards for me, and I want to say it was like $1,500. So $15 card average from a similar type lot. Meganium EX. You got pretty decent cards overall. Just it's a shame they're in like such terrible condition. This would be a lot of money right here if these were all in good condition. But still, cool cards for people that just not too worried about condition, just looking to get like decent binder copies. Some of these present really well. Some of them less so. Some of them have creases that you can see on the front, but not anything. Like I can't justify taking pictures of all these individually and selling them on my eBay. If I were to lot these all together and sell them in one auction on eBay or a couple auctions on eBay, I think they'd do worse. I think Whatnot, paying someone to consign, paying someone a good hourly wage to sell these or a certain percentage on Whatnot, I think I do better than if I sell them on eBay. So yeah, here's a lot right here if you're interested. Those are really cool and they'll do well on a stream. I don't know where the stack went. I have another stack somewhere. I think, oh yeah, here it is. I think this will be more interesting to show than conditioning card by card. But here, from the $23,000 collection, these are not going to all be one Whatnot consignment, but in the future, these will be done in Whatnot consignments. Look at these all these cards are damaged. All these cards are PSA 1 to PSA like 5 or 6 condition. If you watched my video Monday to the very end, these were the last ones that I showed. But like beautiful, amazing, super expensive cards. To be able to get these cards for a fraction of the price in damaged condition. Like there's a demand for that. I don't want them personally. I don't need them in my binders. Like I try to get better condition cards personally for binders, but so many of these cards at arm's length or in a binder, you can't even tell. Some of them you can, some of them are worse, but a lot of them, it's like a little binder ding, or like these would be PSA 6s. Some of these I might pull. Some of these, if it's a single binder ding, I might grade them and try to get like a CGC 8. So some of these will be pulled almost certainly. Not gradable with PSA, but probably with CGC. But yeah, like Glaceon, Leafeon, Level X, they're sub LP. They're more like moderate play to heavy play to damage condition. But just absolute banger cards. Like these are crazy. I can't justify, like the Mew is probably worth grading even in weaker condition. The Shining Mewtwo, definitely some of these are going to end up getting graded with CGC. But yeah, largely these will be Whatnot consignments. Nidoking, Crystal. They need to be sent to PSA for ones on the bigger ones. Yeah, like the Lugia. The Lugia EX is almost certainly a PSA 1. It's got like peeling around the edges. You can actually like flip the edge. Really, really rough. I don't know how well you can even see it, but the whole edge is like almost just gone. And it's well worn on the back. Well loved. Well loved. These things have seen stuff. I don't know what they've seen exactly, but they've been around, and still beautiful cards though. I'm gonna do like 5 more minutes. Quitting time. The whistle blows at 4:30. So I'm just gonna hang out and chat. Any questions? Any last minute questions? Let me know. Josh, definitely hit me up in the DMs, or if you don't, next couple of days I'll hit you up. But I'll probably plan on getting like 100 card. I think Nick and Adam and Joe said that was kind of like a sweet spot for one stream. 100 cards. What I did with them and what I'll do with you too, I'll include a couple packs for giveaways. I'll include a couple graded cards for either sale or for giveaways, just so I know that that's like part of the Whatnot game. They have to click that enter giveaway and follow. So yeah, I'll definitely be in touch. $250 to $300 PSA 1. Yeah, that's crazy. Graded with CGC and PSA, the good ones. Get some ones. Get some CGC 6.5 to 8. Definitely. Ray, we did a lot today. We did PSA returns. We did a little bit of slab optimization recaps. We went through 800 of the 4,000 plus cards that I bought in that 23K collection. We ripped some Metazoo. We pulled a cursed contract, and we also pulled, let me find it and make sure I enunciate. We pulled a drowned, we pulled a drowned pianist, which I think chat got on me about and might have clipped me, but we did some cool stuff. Andrew, I missed your answer on my last question. Sorry. Would you go PSA or CGC for minty vintage Japanese cards, but they have micro scratches on the backs only seen in light? Generally speaking, I think those would grade better at CGC. I think scratches on the back, PSA, depending on how micro you're talking, they could get 10s. Part of it is like, it's hard to know what you mean by micro. Truly micro, absolutely like tiny, hard to see, almost impossible to see. They could get 10s. So I would say PSA if they're that micro, if everything else is flawless. If they're like decent size scratches though that stand out a bit, they could be PSA 8 or 9. CGC might 9 some that PSA would 8. So there's definitely times where everything else is perfect, but there's a few hollow scratches or there's a few scratches on the back. Sometimes PSA will 8 those and CGC will 9 those. It's yeah, that's a good idea. Testing half CGC, half PSA. You really need to see, and then depending on the day, depending on the grader, you might get that PSA grader that's going to 8 you on all of them. You might get the CGC grader that's going to 9 you on all of them, or 9.5. I've had 9.5 CGC hollows that have hollow scratches that would have been 9s or 8s at PSA. You always got to look at the card. So yeah, exactly what the extent of the micro scratches are would determine, but like I'm leaning towards PSA if they're super minute. But if they're a little bit more major, I would tend towards CGC. Hopefully that's helpful. But yeah, I'm fully caught up on chat. I have gotten steaks out with Nick. I believe he goes medium rare, if I remember correctly. He visited. We went to the Turning Stone Casino. We got steaks there. We got steaks in Vegas once. I'm pretty sure he does his steaks right, but I wouldn't put him past it. Knowing that he doesn't return his cards, for him to eat them well done would not be surprising. But I'm pretty sure he does. Medium rare, as one should. Taste the full flavor of the meat. So Nick is still streaming. He's on number 94 right now. I'm gonna raid Nick. I'm gonna show Nick and I'm gonna raid Nick. Everyone leave. Everyone leave me and go watch Nick. Go bid on my cards and buy them.
Card does have some scratching going on right on this edge right here.
So we're rating Nick. Go hop into Whatnot. Right there. So click the link.
Light play
follow Nick. Create an account. It's an affiliate link for Nick. He'll make money.
Pretty good condition.
He's on like 94. I think there's only a few more. But yeah, we're going to raid Nick. I'm going to end it there. I appreciate everyone hanging out.
$1. Good luck to anyone interested in that one.
Let's watch this auction end, and then I'm going to end.
We'll keep our Charizard trend going
as this auction ends.
Charizard EX.
So Nick and I both started at 2, and he's still going. He's gonna get me demonetized too with this music. I don't think he does catch up on a steak. Hopefully not. Pokey Flips will probably have to. We'll have to break up if he. Yeah. If he did catch up on his steak. But yeah, I'm gonna call it there. That card just sold for $6. So Charizard EX from Fire Red Leaf Green. Go click the link. Go follow. Go do all the good stuff. With that though, I will catch you all later.